Yo, welcome back, Full Heel Podcast. I am your host, Rafael Chaidez, the host of the Full Heel Podcast, the number one dirt sheet observer, whatever you want to call it, fan fucking podcast of the WWE, WWF, WCW, ECW, pro wrestling, anything of that related. Fucking even, what did you call it? Pride, motherfuckers. What you know about that?
There you go.
Alberto Del Rio fighting in there.
Well, he shows up there.
Well, he was the pro wrestler that got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, but I think he was. I think the only, if he's not the only, he's gonna be one of like 2 or 3 MMA guys to have wore a mask in a fight. I think.
Yeah, what a smart move.
Yeah.
Let me hinder my vision.
Well, at least no one knew who he was when he got knocked out. Helped with his negotiations in WWF back then.
Yeah.
MMA? No, never done it. Never got head kicked by Pro. No, that's not me.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know that voice by now, that is my buddy from Canada, from all the way across the invisible line, Ryan. What's going on, Ryan?
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah, hey.
We had a little snow up here, eh?
It's actually snowing right now outside for us.
I think the snow that you're getting, I think, is gonna be blowing up my way by tonight. So that'll be fun in the morning. Throw the kids outside for a couple hours.
Yeah, I don't know how many miles, but definitely an hour of time difference. You guys are like an hour in the future, or I'm an hour in the future.
I'm an hour in the future.
Okay, you're from the future.
Yeah, you got to see that. The kickoff to the XFL game is amazing. You wait till you see it.
Wait, I thought they played it yesterday.
I think they have some games today too. I think yesterday was like the big grand opening, and then today's like the second day of it.
The LA Wildcats versus the Houston Roughnecks, I think it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
We lit up another blunt after the fights, and it was on. I forgot what channel they were replaying it, but I put it on just for shits and giggles.
The Ocho.
It looked rougher.
What? It looked a lot better than it did the first time that they did it. Was like 20 odd years ago. Mm-hmm. This one looked okay. I could see this one lasting at least a year and a half, 2 years rather. I don't think this will be a one and done. Mm-hmm. As long as they don't try to compete with the NFL, that's the key.
I think with gambling sites and stuff like that, I think it keeps some popularity and I think it gets some steam going. Especially if they do lean more towards the roughness of football. It is football, and if NFL is gonna, modify the rules for safety, and these guys lean the other way, and we know that, and the players are fine with it.
That was the funny thing, is they were talking about the safety for the kickoffs. Mm-hmm. So, like, the guys kick it off, but no one can run until the guy catches the ball. So once he catches the ball, then he's just like, okay, they're worried about player safety, and then you just see like the first play, the guy just gets crushed.
Yeah, we saw a couple plays and they're not good. Safety wise, they were good fan wise, but I don't know about the safety aspect of it.
Yeah, no, the fan. I mean, it's like, I don't know if they're going to be trying to do like that risky thing that they used to do, where they went into like the cheerleaders' locker room and they're showing them walking around getting changed and that. Like, I think they're going to try and steer clear from that. I think they're going to try and do it more NFL, focus on the action in the field. But I like the sideline reporters. Like the second that a guy, like, was it that the guy missed the field goal, and the reporter walks up to him, he's like, "So how does it feel to miss that kick?" And it's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, that's his job.
It's ruthless. Like, usually they wait till that, like, after the game, like, he's got that mic right in the guy's face.
I was hoping that, like, for the coin flips, they'd have like the Undertaker and shit, like it all go dark and like it's all purple and everything, and then the coin heads or tails. Incorporate not have them play or anything, because they get smashed.
That's what they used to do it, right? Like, before they really put the WWE, WWF, whatever it was then, they really put that twist on it, and now they're just saying, like, now it's just the XFL. That's it. It's owned by Vince, but that's it. Mm-hmm. So,
before we get any more off topic, go ahead and bring up your guys' Elimination Chamber on the network. Me and Ryan are going to do a quick watch along. There's 2 championship fights, 2 Elimination Chamber matches, 4 title matches in total.
3 title matches. 3 have.
I thought it was the United States. 2 title matches for the Elimination Chamber.
There's the 2 chambers, but then
Yeah,
There's a twist at the end of one of them.
Then I was counting that one. I thought I was counting a different one. Twists. You guys like the WWE. You guys know.
Yep.
Sting's going to drop from the fucking ceiling and fight the Elimination Chamber winner.
Sting's dropping from the ceiling. He's fighting Undertaker. Oh
no. Well, even better, we get The Fiend versus Goldberg.
Dude, I was about to say, I was reading this morning that Vince's original plan was to have Goldberg beat The Fiend. I joked about it to you, but I guess Vince was actually debating on having it so that The Fiend would would win it before WrestleMania, but Goldberg was supposed to take it from him to show that The Fiend is beatable in some way.
So, Jesus, as soon as Goldberg, and this was announced, he's like, Goldberg's going to win. And I hadn't really put any thought into it because it just happened yesterday, Friday, 2 days ago?
Friday, yeah.
That it was announced. So I didn't really put much thought into it, and I'm quite vocally a kayfabe Goldberg hater. And they'll be here for life, baby. And they'll be here for life. Till this day! Till this day! Fucking Deontay Wilder. But, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to put the title on him. He's an old dude and he doesn't wrestle for a long time.
And that's what they did with Lesnar, right? They had him beat Lesnar for the belt, and then it was like no Lesnar on TV, no Goldberg on TV, or not Lesnar. Sorry, he beat Kevin Owens for the title, and then they were building up the Brock and Goldberg WrestleMania rematch, and it was like 3 months of just nothing, and then boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Because they fought at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and then he won the title at Fastlane. Mm-hmm. But they kept on hyping up Goldberg and Lesnar, but then neither of them were on TV, and then Goldberg shows up, wins the title, and then disappears again. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
So maybe I'm not into it 100% because everyone armchair quarterbacking, I would have done it differently. They had Goldberg come out and be like, in his garage and be like, I'm Goldberg, and, this, and that, and I saw the Royal Rumble, and I think I need a challenge, and I want to challenge The Fiend. That's not how you fucking do it. You have Goldberg in his fucking garage reminiscing about the Royal Rumble, and then you have The Fiend attack him. That's a million times better than the shit they did right there. I like the news anchor thing. It could have been used differently with someone else, and it still would have worked 100%. I just thought the angle they could have cut with Goldberg and The Fiend could have been a lot better. He attacks him in Goldberg's garage.
They had I like that they're using the social media though, because there's that thing that I put out to the group there that Bray Wyatt shared with the Goldberg's tattoo, and he tweeted out something like, "Guys, Goldberg is responsible for this. That's why he must be stopped," or whatever. Yeah. the tribal tattoo shit. But it would have been, I don't know, the way they've had The Fiend has always been almost like how Kane was back in the day. Someone's in the ring, lights go off, boom, there he is. They could, to have, who's Goldberg coming up to challenge anybody? He hasn't been in there for since the Super Showdown, where that disaster with the Undertaker. And before that, he wasn't around that. It's just.
But I never really got my rematch, Ryan.
Yeah.
That's why I'm back.
I don't know. I jokingly said to you when you said Goldberg's coming on SmackDown tomorrow night, when we were talking earlier this week, I was like, oh yeah, they're going to put the strap on him. Just wait. And then I found out this morning, that was Vince's original idea, but I guess they've talked him out of it because they're you don't want to take the steam off of The Fiend before you have him jump it to Reigns at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And then Reigns can lose it to Goldberg.
Before we move on, we didn't record last week, right?
No, it's been a couple weeks.
Okay, so I want to take a moment out, and I know because you were a big Kobe fan, and just shout out Kobe, R.I.P. Kobe. I don't think I got a chance to do it on here. I'm not going to lie and be like I was the biggest Kobe fan, but I did have respect for Kobe in the terms that I always had to defend Jordan against Kobe. Right. And if there was never a Jordan, there would be Kobe. For me. And for a lot of people, that's not the case. For a lot of people, it's Kobe.
That's it, yeah.
For me, it's sentimental because I'm from Chicago. But
exactly, yeah.
I can see game, and he had game. And like I said, if there wasn't a Jordan, he would be the greatest player of all time.
Well, and everyone has said that he's probably the most athletic. When it comes down to like what he did, like coming in from high school and jumping right into it, and he owned up to a lot of the things that early in his career that weren't the best, like costing Lakers games in the playoffs and stuff like that. He always owned up to it. But to me, he was the first superstar that I watched start to finish. And I grew up like kind of on the fence because I grew up in a Celtics household, so it was always like Lakers are garbage, all that stuff. But as I got older, I just started just like enjoying just watching greatness, regardless where it is. Doesn't matter the color of the jersey, right? All that matters is how well you perform. Who cares if a guy goes here, a guy goes there? If he can play his best of his ability of whatever it is that he does, how can you hate on that?
See, I don't hate on Kobe. I respect the fact because he respected Jordan. He never disrespected Jordan. He mirrored his game after Jordan because he knew what great was. A lot of his fucking plays are oh man, I wish I would have retweeted it. I might have reposted it. They had a fantastic compilation of Jordan taking a shot and then it fades into Kobe taking a shot.
Right.
And then it's Kobe doing a layup or it's Jordan doing a layup and then Kobe doing the same one. And it's just like such a great mirroring, and then it was such a great comparison.
And it goes back to like even like the 60s turned in like guys in the 60s playing influenced guys in the 70s into the 80s into that it's cyclical. Like you see guys today are mimicking LeBron James, and LeBron James is out there mimicking Kobe, who's mimicking Jordan. So technically people say, oh, he's just playing just like LeBron, but no, like these guys are playing like guys that were playing before these guys were even born.
To me, I dislike LeBron more, and I respect his game, and he probably is overall going to be going down as the greatest player of all time, defensively, offensively, and being able to pass. He just does it all very well. To me, it's like, dude, you came into the league and you put on 23 for a reason. I know why. I took it as a shot. And then when you had the opportunity to come to the Bulls and form your dynasty over the guy that you put your number on your back, you didn't. You went with your buddies and you went to Miami. Okay, whatever.
And that was the thing too. I always wondered, like, because there was all that talk about Dwayne Wade wanting to go to Chicago, and I thought that it was going to be, potentially Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron. Like that's unstoppable in itself. I mean, Miami was unstoppable for a while there too, but to me, like I feel like the only reason why he didn't go to Chicago was only because he wanted to do it out of Chicago. He didn't want to be he didn't want Chicago to have like another, like, say there are 3, 4, 5 in a row and be like, yeah, well, I mean, he's just doing it. He wanted to cement his own legacy on his own teams or wherever it was that he were to go. And I will say, like, LeBron is so business. Like, he went to LA. It's not about playing for the Lakers as much as it's transitioning into Hollywood for when his career is over. Like, you saw, like, he went to the Lakers and instantly he was in that movie Trainwreck, I think it was a couple years ago, and then after that he jumped right to LA and he gets into like some animated movies doing voiceovers. He starts popping into TV show. So it's definitely a business move for him. He's doing it his way for sure.
Well, I've always seen it as taking shots. And look, I'm from Chicago, so I'm gonna take it personally when he wears 23. He didn't come here when he had the chance multiple times. I don't have those same things with Kobe. He put on 24. He stayed in LA.
Yep.
He was great. He finished. You put the ball in his hand at the last minute, at the last play, and he fucking made it. Those are the critiques that are given to LeBron nowadays. Well, the ones are the 23 and they're not coming here. Those are more personal than anything.
Right.
But yeah, no, R.I.P. Kobe, man. That guy went way too young. And it sucks, man, because people, I think, were barely starting to see the person that he actually was. He was because when he was a basketball player, he was the Mamba. He was the you're playing against me, boom, you're losing, bitch. That's it.
They were saying how he was growing girls basketball more in the 3 years since his retirement than it had been like the 20 years that he had been playing in the league. Like the way that the WNBA was kind of like going up and down in that, like no one really paid attention. Kobe comes in, starts right away with girls basketball because of his daughters and that kind of stuff, and they pushing, and all of a sudden people started focusing on the WNBA more, and a lot of people say that it's his influence and him helping push those girls at a young age and get like the ones that are in college now that he was working with in his off season, that kind of stuff. Like it's just crazy to think of like what could have happened had he been given the chance to just keep doing what he was doing at this time.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's all I got on Kobe. R.I.P. Just sad. Let's move on, Ryan, and start up this Elimination Chamber. So I hope you guys brought it up here on the network. Elimination Chamber 2010, February 21st, 2010.
10 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 hours and 40 minutes that me and Ryan are going to try to come up with things to entertain you guys with.
I'm sure we'll find something.
All right, Ryan, you want to give us a countdown or should I?
You can have the honors today, my friend.
All right, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go, and go on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to load as mine did.
Yeah.
Fucking Comcast, there we go. Ooh, the nice shot of the chamber.
Yeah, I love that. I think the Elimination Chamber is probably like, they did a good thing with the cage matches from back in the day, like, you know, going from blue to black and trying to keep it fresh and then bringing the Hell in a Cell to keep it fresher again. Mm-hmm. I think Elimination Chamber, like when they brought that thing in, was I love the idea of a cage match elimination. 2 guys start, then add one. You got to think if Brock Lesnar was in one, it would just be like, what? Lesnar would just keep on just eliminating guys, right? Like the
Rumble. Yeah. Did we talk about that? No, right?
No, we haven't talked about the Rumble yet, no.
It's a fucking badass promo to begin with, too.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know who's talking over it, but I'll just mute it real quick. No, so what did you think about that? I'll give you my thoughts. I'm pretty sure I've said it on here on the show. If not, but I'll let you know what I thought right now. What'd you think of Lesnar getting to eliminate pretty much about 10 of the competitors before anything really started happening?
Yeah, I thought I was going to hate it when it was first happening. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. He's going to go number 1, just toss everyone out, blah, blah, blah. But they did it really well. The first couple guys, you know, get out. Mm-hmm. But when who was it, Kofi, Big E, and Ray, when the 3 of them are starting to get, and you start thinking like, oh, okay, here we go. Now it's going to start building up. Now they're going to get some guys in there. And next thing you know, all 3 are tossed out like that. And you're like, oh, wow, like they're really going. And you're just kind of wondering, like, who's it going to be? And was he going to go the distance? Like, it did kind of keep you going because slowly one more guy would come in. Like when Ricochet came in and started going, it was like, okay, like I can see what, like, this is fun. Mm-hmm. And then of course, you know, Drew gets the elimination, and I loved how much they sold that too. When like Lesnar was like legit down, and McIntyre just like stares him out, tosses someone out, and just walks right back over and looks at Paul Heyman and just stares at it. It's like they did a great job on that. And like I said, I was really surprised because I didn't think it was going to turn out as good as it did. I thought it was going to be a bit of a letdown. So yeah, I did buy into it after a bit, but but I thought it was going to be one of those just like boring, just throwaway matches. But they told the story really well, I think.
Yeah, I like the fact that they trolled the fuck out of us. You know, the fans like to complain that WWE doesn't listen to their fans, that they don't pay attention to us. That was clearly, hey, we hear you guys, but we're going to do whatever the fuck we want to do, because they're like, we're putting Lesnar in at number 1. And we're like, oh, great. He's going to win the fucking Royal Rumble. And then they put him in there, and then he's tossing everyone out. And we're like, well, that's the fucking plan. Exactly, WWE is going to make him win the fucking Royal Rumble. 1-30. Like, just the shit fucking idea that they're going to push on us. We don't care. We know he can do this, but why would you make him do it when you can write a storyline and have someone else win? And then what do they do?
It's funny because like it's because that's how like sometimes just for shits and giggles, like if I'm doing like one of the 2K games and I get to the Rumble, I'm like, I'm gonna be number 1. I'm gonna give myself like infinite finishers, and I'm just gonna set the records, toss everyone out, and it's fun. But when you're watching it, it's like, okay, like this isn't like a video game that I'm playing. Like this is like I'm investing my time into watching this. Like I want to see something else. But then it was actually, I'm like, okay. He's getting hurt a little bit. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, like it kind of kept you there.
Yeah.
Just enough. They give you they I think the only thing I didn't like was the big name superstars just getting chucked out like nothing. That to me was just like, why is like one guy just running into the ring and then just like one clothesline and he's tossed right over. And like these guys are supposed to be able to like take a little bit. I feel like before they get and I get the time constraint of having the 2 minutes, but to have Lesnar just standing there for a minute and a half, just in some cases, just like waiting for someone, was like, okay, this could have been used where he's actually like hurting the guy before he's tossing him out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like you have like a guy like Rey Mysterio that does like the high flying stuff. You can justify saying like, oh, he tried something different and it cost him. But to have like a big guy come down, just get chucked right over, like,
I once they made a McIntyre toss him over, I was like, okay, cool. You guys pay attention. I like it. I'm back in.
I thought they were going to set something up with maybe Lesnar losing the title on Raw or at the next pay-per-view before Mania, and have it set up to be a Lesnar versus Keith Lee at WrestleMania, because like those guys, they looked really good. I'm like, okay, like this looks fun, but they can't have Keith Lee fighting for the Universal title this fast.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta do something else with him, but yeah, then this Lesnar just like rocks him right out like nothing.
No, when they tossed Lesnar out, I was like, all right, that's all you had to say, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yeah, and I like the idea of having like Ricochet too. Like it was the low blow first. It wasn't just like a quick toss. Like they kept it that Lesnar, like they did have to do a cheap shot to get the assist on it.
So we started the pay-per-view. If you guys are watching along, you guys saw the badass view of them lowering the Elimination Chamber onto the squared ring. John Cena's in one of the pods already. Here comes Ted DiBiase. So 2010, this is me at U of I, some of my shittiest times, and around this time, 2008, I was doing MMA already, so I was building from my failure of school, but I wasn't watching wrestling at this time. Okay. So I did not see any of Ted DiBiase in the WWE.
I liked Legacy a lot back in the day. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Ted DiBiase. At that, those three guys, I thought was a really good little clique that they had building up. When DiBiase was smart, he got in there, he made his cash, and then he said, "I'm out. I'm retiring," and he's doing his own thing now. His brother yesterday just got arrested.
Oh, okay, that was his brother. I thought it was him on drug charges.
Yeah.
Are they both Ted DiBiase's? Did he George Foreman them?
No.
George Foreman's all his kids are named George.
George and his daughter's Georgina.
Yeah. Oh my God. Here's
I forget what the other brother's name is, but
dude, I'm so glad you picked this pay-per-view.
You know what's funny? I was trying to think like what was around this time, like 5 years ago, 10 years. I was trying to see like around this time and just kind of get like an idea of built. We're on the road to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
And thought, okay, well, let's see what the road to WrestleMania was like, however many years back. And I came across this, and I was like, I dig Elimination Chamber matches. This is right around this time. Like, perfect. Let's go with it. And there's a lot of good talent here that's, for the most part, still around too.
I'm gonna try to be ready earlier next time, just so when you're out of work or if you have to take a shift, that way I'm ready. Today I caught some extra Z, so I got up later and then I had to cook for these guys. I didn't have to cook for these guys, but I like keeping my nephew fed.
I tried to pitch some extra Z's, but everyone wanted blueberry pancakes, so it was Daddy, come on, we're hungry. Let's get out of bed. Yeah. Come on.
No, but I wanted to get this early because Jesus wanted to come over and do a watch along too. Jesus had some more time, so I think I'm finally going to be able to do what I've been not secretly planning, but just had an idea of doing watch-alongs or breakdowns with you, WWF, Attitude Era, Jesus, WCW, Nitro, Dominance, NWO Era, when Jeff can join along, ECW. So I'll be the Conrad Thompson, the host, I need to come up with questions, and the cattle prod guy, the keeping it going.
I threw on some ECW the other night, just nostalgia purposes, watching the Sabu Terry Funk barbed wire match.
Oh my God! Is that where he tore his bicep open and he just fucking taped it? He's like, give me the tape. Give me the tape. He's like, all right, I'm good. He's like, no, dude, you need to get the fuck out of here. No.
When they showed like the scar on his arm, he's like, this is from the stitches and this is from the tape. It's like, oh.
Are the pots full? No, they just locked in Randy Orton, right?
Yeah. Like, look at this. Like, Ted DiBiase definitely had the potential, if he didn't walk away, of being like another big star. Mm-hmm. And you look at this, like, the first match, you have Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H. Like, god damn, this is how you're kicking off your pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know there was 2 chamber matches on here.
Yeah, this is back when, because I think after a while they just did. Oh no, they may have always had. Maybe it was only just one for the longest time. Then when they did the brand split the second time, they did it. But because now they have, like, when they do Elimination Chamber, they'll do like the women's tag team titles, the heavyweight title, the intercom. It's just like a random, just throw as many elimination. Just drop it once and leave it down there.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice Titantron display.
Yeah,
that they had there, kind of mimicking the chamber itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty nice. I don't know if I like, what is it, the Raw one is the one that slopes down, right? It's got like a it's like a little curve, like it curves up into the. It's like a giant Titantron that like curves into the floor, and then the SmackDown one it's got like a weird like parentheses like that expands.
It's still better than, was it that the WCW? I think it was for Thunder. It may have even been for Nitro near the end, but when they had like their layouts were always so terrible.
Are you talking about fucking? My favorite is Halloween Havoc. You better not be talking shit about that one.
No. Oh, I loved that. The layout for Halloween Havoc was always great. I loved it.
And it was pretty simple, but it was pretty awesome. Well, Halloween's awesome, so.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's like when they're putting that pay-per-view together, they're like, okay, how can we make it seem Halloween-y? It's like, oh, I know, we'll just put some cemetery here, a ghost over there, make it look like someone's front yard, and it worked.
Yeah, it did work.
And there's a lot of champions in this one, eh? Kofi now.
Yeah, they finally pulled the trigger on him, put the title on for a while, too.
Yeah, he got it for a good 6-8 months.
Yep. And then they made him drop it in the most pathetic manner ever. F5 pin.
Yeah, but he like runs and jumps and that's the other thing. Like they just push Lesnar way too hard. I feel like, and I get it. Like, he's the attraction, right? He's Andre the Giant. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's get in, get out. But
I'm glad he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Is he still from Jamaica here?
I think so. Yeah.
This is 9 years ago. Damn. Is his chest caved in yet?
No.
the Big Show hasn't slapped him and caved his chest in yet.
Yeah.
That is real, guys. That is not a kayfabe. That is real. Big Show slapped him in the chest, and I don't know what happened, but it looks like his chest caved in. But I don't think it was like a serious medical procedure that they had to do or anything.
I'm not sure. No.
Damn, so Sheamus was the champion at this time.
No, come on.
Is that why you picked it, Ryan?
Who wore it better?
You guys are separated at birth, right?
Oh, man. I have to wear a hat everywhere now because I can't stand it.
I have to wear a hat because I'm bald. So, stop your complaining. You showing off over there, bro?
Like I said, I went from looking like Stone Cold to looking like Stunning Steve.
Man, I'm gonna start taking 4 hymns if they sponsor me to keep whatever I have, and then I'm gonna get a second sponsor, like the sew-in rugs, a sew-in weave to weave into the remaining hair I have. That way it looks as real as possible.
You're not gonna go with the LeBron James plugs?
No, or Boozer. I'll do the Boozer.
Yeah, there you go.
Permanent marker, the Sharpie. Fucking color it in. Well, they have weird procedures. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know why I've seen it. It's not like I'm planning on doing it or anything.
I don't
know.
We might have found a secret here.
Yeah, I already got the appointment. No, but there's a procedure that you get your head tatted with like gray dots, and they fill out like a hairline, and they try to hit up your bald spots, and you just keep it a buzz cut, and it looks like you have hair. And it's like, oh no, I just don't want to grow my hair out. I have hair. I just don't want to grow my hair out. So you're just lying to everyone, even
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
I'm bald. I just cut it whenever. I'm wearing a hat because it's too long for being bald and it looks weird.
Yeah.
Joe recently has not given a fuck. He's letting the
No.
beard gray out and like even the sides come in a little bit, even the top. He's been letting the little fucking sprout up. I'm like, Joe, have a little respect, bro. You're on fucking ESPN. Yeah. You're not on Fox anymore, bro.
No, there's something like there was one I saw. It was a joke one, but it was like chia head. Guy just puts like the seeds on his head, and he wakes up in the morning. He's got like just this big old afro. It's like,
Dude, I don't know how they have not figured that shit out. Can't you just slap some fucking stem cells on the top of your head and see what grows?
I think so, right? Like you can make someone's muscles grow back in like 3 weeks, but you can't grow hair.
Mm-hmm. So Kofi and Sheamus starting off the match. Champion Sheamus starting off first.
Yeah, I always thought for some reason that no, I guess it was always like that. There wasn't been draw numbers or anything like that. Oh, it's when the next guy comes in. That's what it is. Like the lights start going like Russian roulette style. That's what it is.
Yeah, because the last pay-per-view or the last chamber where Kofi got thrown in there because the other guy was injured, Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Kofi was thrown into the Elimination Chamber, but they were having a match to determine the order of the chamber. Maybe the first two entrants. Ooh, the kiddos are having a chamber of their own.
Yeah, they got the chamber.
Who's number one? The kiddos.
Yeah. I think Carla probably just got slapped by Connor, had her hair pulled or something. That's what it sounds like. They fight so much that I can actually feel like, oh, that's a hair pull scream.
That's hilarious. And I cooked for we're a little late. We should have been earlier, but I cooked for the whole families.
Nice.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah, it was bacon, Italian sausage, spicy Italian sausage, and then like 14 eggs.
Oh damn!
I also mixed jalapeno in with the meat, and I mixed in like a green pepper.
The spicy sausage wasn't spicy enough for you?
Nah, man, I'm Mexican. You gotta kick it up. And then after it was all done and I topped it with cheese, I put Valentina on it too, the hot sauce.
Nice.
Just for an extra kick. Then I fed my 3 of my nephews, or 1 niece, 2 nephews, me. So yeah, my parents left. I don't know where they went. They went grocery shopping for themselves.
Well, yeah, because you finished everything making breakfast.
No, there was still some left over, but they went to church and then they got home and I was cooking and then they went to go buy stuff. My dad was trying to pay me on on Friday for the shrimp picture I sent you.
Oh yeah, that looked nice.
Yeah, because I got home on Friday from work and I asked Mom, I'm like, do you guys eat already? She's like, no, we're going to order pizza for everybody. And I'm like, I can't eat pizza today. Me and my nephew can't eat today. We're still dieting. Like, we're just trying to break diet on Saturdays now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they offer you some pizza. You're like, no. Then you come home to the next day with like 3 boxes.
Well, the next day we did have pizza yesterday because they're like, order this pizza, and I'm like, all right, today's cheat day, it's fine. But I'm like, no, I'll cook for you guys. So I went to the store and bought 4 pounds of shrimp, bought romaine lettuce. There was already the other ingredients at home, and
Nice.
made camarones a la Rafa, just shrimp a la mi. Just a bunch of different stuff: paprika, garlic powder, chili powder, diced garlic, diced jalapeno, diced onions. Mixed all that shit up, let it marinate for a little bit, and then cooked the shrimp up, and then just peppers and onions, and then a little side salad.
It's all about, yeah, you do a nice little seasoning. You just toss in whatever veggies you want in there. Really, like once you get like a good seasoning mixture down pat, it's good to go.
And then on top of the lettuce, tomato, I bought some spinach to start mixing into my was it spinach? I think it was spinach to mix into my salads. But I just squeezed half a lime onto it. Everything seafood with lime is delicious as hell. So
That's it, yeah. Well, I sent you that picture of the basically the keto Super Bowl party that we had last week at my buddy's place.
Oh, dude, that looked fantastic, man.
It was all smoked. He has a little smoker in his backyard, so he I
gotta invest in one.
So he did was it beef brisket chili, then pork rib, beef rib, turkey wings. He's like he puts this little bit of coleslaw on the platter too. So everyone's up there grabbing their shit and like, hey, Dan, you got a fork or tongs or something for the coleslaw? And he was like, it's a vegetable. That's just there for the garnish.
Yeah, that's just for looks, bro.
Yeah, it says the meat's what it's all about.
He's like, I guess we don't eat that shit.
Yeah. Everyone's like looking around like, oh, I guess I should maybe have like a pickle or something. Like,
oh, dude, yesterday we went shopping and I got more baked stuff.
Right.
To bake. So I got almond flour, which is super expensive. I didn't realize it. Everything else was super cheap for the keto stuff, like the cacao powder or the chocolate powder, the unsweetened one.
Right.
That has no sugar, no carbohydrates, so that's keto. I bought baking powder and then stevia. I don't like the aftertaste of stevia, but if you want something sweet, it works. And I'm guessing when you bake it, oh, here we go. Who's next? Who's the first one in out of the pods? I don't know who it was. I never watched this pay-per-view. And I didn't... Oh, Triple H, damn. He's there. I thought he was going to be later on. Because I don't know who wins this either. Look at him. He looks like the Joker right there.
Yeah, he did too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's all smiling with the light shining from down.
It almost looked like Rey Mysterio there when he was the Joker at that one WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, but I bought a bunch of baking stuff.
Stevia, like everyone was telling me I need to try stevia because it's better. And I have the same thing. Like it's good, but it's like
there's an aftertaste,
a chemical aftertaste almost thing. Yes. And no matter what, like, you drink something, like I gotta get that, wash it back, and you're just like, nope, it's still there. It's like when you get like some oil on your hands. No matter what you do, it just stays there. You can't get rid of it.
And I'm hoping that when you bake it into goods and mix it with cacao powder and like almond flour and all that other stuff, I'm hoping that chemical aftertaste kind of just dissolves into everything else. And I think that's what it does.
And I tried it. Because like I said, like a lot of people have been telling me it's a healthier alternative in that, and Joe Rogan's always talking about it. Goddamn.
It is the healthier option, dude. I don't know how much weight I'm not really keeping a pound percentage. I'm feeling very slim, and I fluctuate because I still have fat and water weight. So if I wanted a real check, I'd have to dehydrate myself every day. I still hold a lot of water, and I'm drinking a lot of water because I expel a lot of water because I don't have any carbohydrates. Well, I do from yesterday because I did break yesterday, but I've been slimming down really crazy. My clothes is fitting a lot looser. I'm gonna have to buy new pants soon. Shirts or whatever, you can go a couple sizes or just be big, but pants, like now I have to buy belts because it's getting pretty
well, it's like when I remember when I was me and Karen, we were in school and we were on like the OSAP, right? They were like government money for whatever, and I going to work the one day, and they're like, God, Ryan, you're looking really thin these days. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm on that new diet. Like, oh, what's it called? I'm like, oh, poverty.
Poverty. Dude, like, what? Hey, the kiddos.
There they are.
Hi. Superman.
Yeah, Superman, Supergirl.
Daddy, why do you really working?
Why am I watching wrestling?
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Why does me and Bob died?
You're watching Zootopia? Yeah, you love Zootopia. Hey, look. Is that Daddy right there? Pasty. Weird hair. Looks just like me.
Wrestling Triple H.
Yeah. Beard, same beard shape.
Yeah. Is that you?
Yeah, it looks just like me.
Whatever the muscles.
We're working on that.
Really white like you?
Yeah, he's really white like me.
Bye.
Yeah, say bye, Connor.
Bye. The room around.
You're changing the room around. Oh, yay! That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Be nice and loud.
See, tell your kids to subscribe to FHP. We're kid friendly.
Daddy, why don't you give me that snitch?
Why do we want to play basketball? We'll play basketball later.
Boom.
Why did she get you the net? She got you the net
Drop
because
kick to
you like
Sheamus.
basketball.
By God. By God.
I love you.
He tosses Triple H in his Sheamus.
See, and if this was Lesnar, now he'd be eliminated from the match.
See?
That's exactly how it happened.
Don't let YouTube lie to you and tell you FHP isn't kid friendly. They made me put that. All right, that's fucking.
Did they really?
Oh no, they do that for everyone because they're trying to make people responsible for their channels because look, there is a lot of content out there that's really fucking weird that kids should not be watching just on the weird social aspects of
kids. The stuff that they have for kids, like they got like these little videos where kids are playing with like toys, or whatever. But it's like Connor, I come in the room, he's watching this. It was a Paw Patrol, but when the one episode ended, it led to like click this video, and I walked in like, what are you watching? Like this is like brain numbing. Like I feel stupid, and I've been watching this for like 3 seconds. Like this is going off right now. Like the stuff that they designed for kids is worse than the stuff that's not designed for kids.
Yeah, so YouTube is trying to do something about that, and they're making all the channels say if they're kid friendly or not. I'm like, hey, look, parents should be watching what their fucking kids are watching. I'm like, this isn't kid friendly, so I'm like, I'll put it. Like, they shouldn't be watching me smoking weed and talking stupid shit about whatever I want to talk about. Like, like Jinjaz, like fucking, oh my god, 8 seconds.
Who's it gonna be?
Ryan, do you have no soul? Is that true?
yeah, that's right.
No, but you have like half a soul, right? Because you said you're like brownish, reddish hair.
Yeah, I'm like I'm not fully red. I got a little like dirty blonde, brown, red.
I got tints of red in my beard. When I let it grow out, it like fades out a little bit from being so dark. And like at times, mine would be like when I was younger. She's like, "Did you dye your beard?" And I'm like, "No, that's just how it fucking grows in." And then she wouldn't believe me till I'm like, "Look at your fucking brothers," because she has she has brothers that we call güero because they're light skinned and they're brown haired. They're very European blooded, Spanish blood.
Okay.
My mom's side, and I'm like, look at the side of your family. I'm like, why do you think we call my uncle güero? And then she's like, oh yeah, you're right. Because a lot of my aunts, dude, some of them have red hair, dude. It's crazy.
You got a tinge of red in your beard. I have a tinge of gray in mine.
I think that's just old age, right? I'm expecting it because a lot of people my age are getting gray pretty fast, and I'm 31, so I shouldn't. But you know.
I had nothing until the kids. Like the kids, it was just like all that. Like, they just aged me instantly. Like, I woke up and I was the day before Carla was born, I looked like Barack Obama before he took office. The day that Carla was born, it looked like Barack Obama the day he left office.
Stress.
Stress.
Well, you know what's funny? A lot of my friends that I say are graying around my age, they're all married or have girlfriends. Me, I don't have a girlfriend, and I've avoided being in a relationship, and people are like, "What, are you gay or something?" And I'm like,
as if it's a bad thing.
Yeah. And I'm like,
wait 1 second. So if you're gay, you can't be in a relationship?
yeah. And I'm like, no, I just don't want to fucking bullshit people and pretend like I want to be in a relationship when I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm
right.
Like, just because I want some pussy. I'm like, I'm not going to put myself and put other people through it. And they're like, what are you saying? You're speaking reasonably. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, I can just go fucking jack one off real quick.
You sit there, they're going out for Valentine's Day, and they're like, getting everything ready. You're sitting back there just counting your fat rolls. Like, oh, what?
Look, I'm 31. I'm getting my shit together, and now I'm on keto. By 35, I'm gonna be a fucking Thor with some money, hopefully a house, and just have what I want. And then I could start looking, and then I won't be old enough to not start a family. There
you go.
Because I do want kids. I wouldn't mind having kids. Kofi off the top rope, taking out everybody. Did you mention Randy Orton is in? He's the
Randy Orton is now in there.
Fourth man. Second man out of the pods?
Yeah.
So we got Cena and Ted DiBiase Jr. I don't know why they didn't put the Jr.
Yeah. What was Ted DiBiase Sr.?
Yeah, it could be. They didn't put it, bro. He didn't take his father's gimmick, right? He just took Legend.
When he first came out, Ted DiBiase was with him, and he had the $1 Million Championship for a short period of time.
Oh shit! So they brought it back.
Yeah, and then
do you know if WWE has that, or does $1 Million Man have that? Because that's an actual real belt. Like,
they talked about it on Something to Wrestle once, and I forget.
Yeah, I forgot who has it. Because I think that belt was actually made with a jeweler, right? And it's really expensive belt.
I don't know how true or not it is, because I mean, this was like back in like the late 80s, early 90s. Mm-hmm. For that thing to be like supposedly like all legit diamonds in that, like Vince was like bleeding money at that time because this was around the time that he was starting to like go down in business and that.
Mm-hmm.
But they say that it's all legit and that. So,
what would you rank Randy Orton's? What would you call that move? The scoop slam? No.
yeah,
Is it what it is? The
Randy,
off the ropes one where he just woof.
He just like does a really fast slam.
Yeah.
I
forget the name.
I think Randy Orton doesn't get enough respect, to be honest. I feel like I don't know like what it like maybe it's just like where he was like with Orton or with Cena, with Triple H, with a lot of these like big guys. Like he never really had the chance to like really take the top position for a long period of time. But I mean like his athletic ability is almost second to none. His storylines are always entertaining.
You like the teasing we just had right there? RKO to Shining Wizard miss to RKO miss to fucking Pedigree miss.
What's your time at down there?
Oh shit!
I'm a little ahead of you.
29, 28, 29, 30.
Okay, so I'm about 7 seconds ahead, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, I think mine was loading a little bit. Stupid Comcast.
Yeah, normally I'm the one that's bitching, complaining about my.
Is Canadian internet better? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So the storyline leading into this one also is that Legacy was breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
So Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton are not. Like they're like was it Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase are kind of like now feuding more with Randy Orton, and at the WrestleMania it's going to be either triple threat or 2-on-1 Randy Orton versus DiBiase versus Rhodes. So that's where this is right now.
Look where Rhodes is now, taking lashes.
Yeah,
what'd you think about that?
That was what was it? 9 to the back and 1 to the face.
Yeah,
that was something
kind of hard to watch, to be honest.
It kind of took me back to like when Hogan used to do it in the NWO, but Hogan did nothing like that. Like Hogan's were a little more gimmicky, unless you're David Flair.
Yeah, I heard Rick was so pissed about that.
Yeah, but no, like that was. I feel like AEW. I try to get into it, but there's an element of it that it doesn't capture me. I feel like the guys are good, the entertainment's good, the action's fun, but I don't know if it's just the nonstop talking with WWF that turns me away from it, because there is like out of nowhere like Dean Ambrose there, John Moxley. I saw that he was doing an interview, and they're like, "Oh, how do you view the success of AEW?" He's like, "Oh, we're nothing like WWE. We're doing this and this." I'm like, "That's not the question." Like, it's like, and I feel like to me, that's just like you're talking about your competitor way too much. Just focus on your own thing. Just do your thing. Like, just do what you got to do to keep promoting yourself and getting yourself bigger and bigger. But the more that they keep on focusing on WWE, it's just I feel like it's going to hurt them in the long run. Mm-hmm. Like Vince always said, Vince never talked about WCW after the Billionaire Ted skits. And after at that time was when Bischoff started going hardcore, talking nonstop about WWF. And eventually that's what ended up sinking them, because they tried too hard to put them down than to bring themselves up.
So Legacy right now is pushing...
Going right through the cage, damn.
Yeah, I don't know how much that hurts. Now it looks like when they're wrenching his neck against the cage, that looks like it hurts. When they were just kind of pushing his head through it, it didn't really. I was like, "Come on, guys." This looks cool.
This is a really cool set. Little Boston Crab.
Yeah, with Kofi intertwined in the.
Now, if you really want to do it, instead of kicking him, is you want to put your foot on his neck and press down, and really, you really want to sell pain. That's how you sell it.
Here we go. That's a nice little thing to put your knee on the back of his neck.
Yeah.
Crush him into the chamber. So once Ted DiBiase got let in, him and Orton have been laying waste to everybody. And Cena's just pacing in there, waiting. Triple H taking on Legacy here. Damn, so they're just running over everybody.
This kind of reminds you of the Royal Rumble with the Rated RKO.
Yeah.
I like that a lot there when they brought those two. I was really hoping that they might do another run. I get the Edge versus Orton for WrestleMania. That makes sense to me and all that, but I really wanted at least one little Rated RKO run just for the old time's sake. But
it was awesome that the pop that even when I saw, I was denying that he was going to come back when they said he was cleared, and people were like, the rumors started. I'm like, nah, there's no way Edge comes back. And then he denied it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think he's going to come back.
There was so many things. He was being cleared. He had signed a contract in some way, shape, or form to be involved with them. The pictures of him looking at his gear. That's
the one that got me. I was like, okay.
There were so many things. I'm just like, okay. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he came back. I was like, yeah. I could have told you that 6 months ago when they first said, no, he's not coming back. Yeah. That's when I said, yeah, he's coming back.
Me and Jesus still popped, though, when he popped out. We're like, what? No way!
When he was there, I was like, I was excited to see him back in there. I knew it was coming, just a matter of, like, that's the element of the Royal Rumble, right? 10-1, and then you're just waiting whose music's going to hit, you don't know. And so, like, that really helps with the pop. But I was expecting him to come back in some way, shape, or form during the Rumble. And yeah, when he finally came in up there, it was like wild, man. Like, and his wife took a fucking brutal beating in the Women's Royal Rumble, eh?
Yeah. She cut her head open, right?
She looked like Ric Flair back in the day when he used to bleed. Went from blonde to red and poof. Yeah.
Remember that time he came out and he was like, you think I'm good still? And he's fucking punching himself in the head. He's like, you think I'm old? He's like, you think I'm washed up, Triple H? He's like, look at this. And he's fucking punching himself in the head.
His head's turning red.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, fuck, Rick is intense.
My favorite is still when he was in WCW and he's like ripping off his clothes and he's stripping and he's bouncing off the ropes. I'm like, oh, Rick did a little bit of rail before he walked up for this interview, I think.
So I'm actually enjoying this, just even out of the peripherals, because I never watched this. This whole this Chamber story.
Yeah.
Kofi starting with the champion, and then you let Triple H in, and they have a nice little exchange, all three of them. And then you let Randy Orton come in, but then you let in his partner, Ted DiBiase, and they run amok through the whole thing. They even wait for John Cena to pop out, and they attack him right out of the fucking, out of the pod. I thought that was pretty cool. And now you have Super Cena taking over the match.
And this is, I was gonna say, this is like Cena, like prime Cena. Like he doesn't do half these moves anymore.
Ooh, that was nice. That was a nice ass move.
The leg drop off the top.
Yeah, to the standing opponent.
I love that one.
To a bent over opponent. So I understand John Cena's corniness, but I've always given him slack because the top of the cream of the crop left. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Rock, The Undertaker was kind of out. Shawn Michaels was out.
He was in a weird position, right? Like Stephanie caught him rapping in the back of the bus one day, and they gave him a gimmick, and the fans just jumped for it. And they ran with it, and he was the guy that wasn't afraid to do what had to get. He would lay down for you. He would put anyone over that he had to. Like, he's one of like those rare guys in the business, like that has no problem doing whatever it takes, right?
He got stabbed by Carlito's dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my God, the STFU on at this time I think it was still called the STFU, the shut the fuck up instead.
Yeah.
What is it now?
I think it's just the STF. They just got because that's the original. That is the name, but they just because they even dropped the FU to the AA.
See, that still looked like it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That move that Randy just did.
Cody. Here we go.
I hear voices in my head. Black-haired Cody, too. Now, he's been blonde for a while. He doesn't have the mustachio?
No. He's babyface.
Yeah, so Cody just tossed him in a pipe for people watching.
RKO. By God, that is a steel pipe.
By God. Ted DiBiase just hit Orton. He just hit Orton. By God. He doesn't know what to do. He accidentally hit Orton. Now he hit Cena, and now he's looking. Oh my God! Damn, he's going for the pin on Orton. Damn, he eliminated Orton.
Cody's like, I'm gonna have to pay for this one in the back.
Damn. And now Cody's shook. I'm all shook up.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's like. Oh shit! I didn't think this one all the way out.
Damn. So now Orton's gonna accuse them too of conspiring against him.
Yeah, like they had already, like, the seeds were planted going into this one.
Okay.
And that, yeah, because I think actually leading into this match, or not into this match, but into like their whole storyline was like Cody turned on Dusty to join Orton, and Ted DiBiase turned on Ted DiBiase, and that was how they became like the big heels. Like these guys they turned on their fathers to join Randy Orton.
Everyone's got a price, bro.
That's it.
And Orton looks back at DiBiase with hate.
You almost think like he's gonna run back in the cage or something. Or...
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go back in and fuck him up, but no. Where do we go from here now?
And they always say too, like when in these matches that you could be pinned, like the first two guys, Kofi could have been pinned by Sheamus or vice versa. But it rarely ever happens. They try to get all 6 guys in there before they start doing all the eliminations.
What? Yo, did that just happen?
Yeah.
So Ted DiBiase eliminates Randy Orton, and then Kofi out of nowhere hits the Shining Wizard or whatever he calls it, and I think it's Trouble in Paradise. I think that's what he calls it. Is it? I don't know what he calls it. That weird kick that he does.
Yeah, I think it's Trouble in Paradise.
And he got the pin on Ted DiBiase, and now Sheamus kicked the fuck out of him, and he's about to get Razor's Edged. Yep, Razor's Edge right there. I don't know what he calls it, but I'm calling it the Razor's Edge.
But I think it's a Celtic Cross or something along those lines.
Nah, too long. Yeah. Damn, so now Kofi's out. So that's now it just leaves Triple H, Cena, and Sheamus.
Sheamus looking like me right now after like a hard day at work.
All hot and sweaty from the bakery.
Yeah, the hair's falling down.
Yeah. I can't believe you've never heard of Fathead Dough.
Yeah, no. I've never looked out for it. I might have to.
I think I could make pasta out of it too, like just boil it and shit like that, and then pour the sauce over it. The sauce. I'm actually gonna make chicken marinara later. I'm not grill up chicken. I'm gonna fry up some chicken in either olive oil or butter, and then I'm gonna make my own little marinara. Spice it up. I like throwing jalapenos in there. Spice it up, and then just render the tomato sauce down with some garlic, onion in there. Like I said, jalapeno, and then I'll throw in some garlic powder, salt, pepper, onion powder, all the good stuff. Yeah. And then just let that shit render down. Get into a nice marinara taste. Pretty simple. But it's good.
Seen in the Tree of Woe.
What happened to Triple H? Why has he been out so long? Whoa.
Yeah, what was it? This the beating from Legacy, I think.
Dude, raspberries are so weird. Or I'm just high.
I love a good raspberry.
I'm happy right now because strawberries and raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries all drop back down, and that's the only berry I could really have that's keto friendly or low sugar, low carb.
Right.
And they have a lot of antioxidants and other stuff I need. But apparently there's like a... Damn, he's going for the Celtic Cross on Cena. Oh, right in the gonads.
And...
Right in the ginger pubes.
The canela. The canela pubes.
The cinnamon pubes. Damn. Sheamus just got fucking...
You call that the cinnamon swirl.
The cinnamon swirl. 1, 2, 3. Damn, we have a new champion.
New champion coming. Who's it going to be?
Damn. And we have the heel and the baby face. Got rid of one of the heels.
Actually, I think this is two faces. I think Triple H is a face in this.
Nah, he was laughing and smiling all crazy in the beginning.
Yeah, because he had to take on Sheamus, the heel, and he got to get his hands on him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on at this time. It's going to be fun going back and watching some of these.
Yeah.
I've been anticipating it, but we've been doing a bunch of old stuff, which I got another request for next week. So
Nice.
We could do that if you want.
Which one?
I don't remember it. He requested yesterday, but I was like, yeah. And then
Cool.
I was pooping, but he requested it. I think it's a build up to WrestleMania though, or something.
Okay, cool.
It's like one of those weird. It's not like a pay per view. It was like that UK thing.
Oh, okay. There we go. Is he gonna tap?
STFU. Don't tell me he gets it this quick. Oh, but there's no breakup on the.
It's been half an hour. That's the thing too. Like with these matches, you get the two Elimination Chamber matches. It takes up an hour of the pay per view like that, eh?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Rumble. Well, to be fair though, now the Rumbles are like 5 hours long.
Yeah.
But they had 2 of them, I guess, this past time.
I like the idea of having the women's Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
They got enough talent.
Yeah.
They got and the NXT girls put on a show in that one too.
Dude, as soon as that war was over between damn, they had Triple H tap right away to that.
Well, he tapped at WrestleMania to the STFU also.
Yeah, but to me it was like the elimination after elimination. Like
yeah, they did
it.
That's the other thing too. Like with these things, it's either it's like the dominoes are falling, right? Like within 5 minutes from the first guy eliminated, it's over. But wait, there's more.
How many times would this be? 7, 8?
He's got to be close to the double digits at this point, I would say. If not already.
This time it's the spinner belt, but the spinning has been stabilized at this time.
Yeah, he's no longer a thug.
Yeah, he's not the master of thugonomics. He's Super Cena, or at least the beginning stages of Super Cena. I have one of those armbands. I have a red one. It's on top of my Cena figure. We went to an event, and I think someone dropped it, and Jesus is like, "Hey, look, I got you a gift." And I'm like, "You think it's funny? I'm gonna keep this shit."
Yeah.
So I watched it and I kept it.
Here we go.
Yeah, they left the cage. WrestleMania. I don't know Roman numerals. What is it?
26.
26 is on the way. Oh fuck! I should have turned that up. Vince McMahon came out. He's coming out to announce he's going to WrestleMania. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this pay-per-view.
Right now against this man.
This is about to pick up.
By God, the devil himself, Vince McMahon! How can he do this? Why? So why was this done? I thought it was going to be I thought he might have had like the Money in the Bank. I knew Batista was going to have like a match right now against him right after the Elimination Chamber. I thought it was like I thought he had the Money in the Bank or some bullshit.
No, it was they did that with Edge.
He guarded the Galaxy? Is that what it was?
Because Edge did it in 2005 with the first Money in the Bank. It was that after an Elimination Chamber, and yeah, that was somehow every time John Cena wins an Elimination Chamber, he can't be the champion afterwards. It's like a rule. But I don't know why they made him defend it right away, unless it was just Vince hates John Cena.
It has to be because this isn't Rey Mysterio, where you win the title and then you have to defend it in a fucking ladder match.
Yeah.
The very same night. It's like, hey, you get your moment for 2 seconds. Bye.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like everything. When I saw that Rey
Go cut the
Mysterio
lawn, Beaner.
Rey Mysterio was like a 3-time champion, and one of his reigns was like 4 months. The other 2 reigns were like a day.
Yeah. Conrad likes giving. Oh fuck! He just speared Cena all nasty. Batista did. He likes giving Bruce shit that they brought in Ray and they shit on him real quick, but he really
Yeah.
wasn't huge in WCW.
Well, no, that's the thing too. Like, I guess the only like, yeah, like, I feel
Damn,
like
Batista bomb and pin right away.
Vince, I
Squash
feel like
match.
he brought a lot of those guys in as a way to say, like, welcome here. We're gonna bury you for a little bit, but we're gonna keep you around, kind of thing. Like, just he did it with Sting too. Like, when Sting went to Triple H at WrestleMania, it was just their way of saying, like, yeah, welcome here, but at the same time, like, you guys tried to put us out of business, so we're gonna hold you back a little bit.
Like, if you look at his career in WCW and in WWF put him over by putting the title on him. WCW never put the title on him.
I mean,
they put the cruiserweight title on him, but
they talked for like a year and a half, 2 years, with trying to get his mask off.
yeah.
So I mean, how serious did they really take? Yeah, like, I think the only other time, I don't know if he was a tag team champ, but I know he won the WCW cruiserweight tag team titles like 3 days before they Vince McMahon bought them.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of bullshit is that? Cruiserweight tag team titles.
Such a joke, eh?
Look at John selling grasping at the sign of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
With Batista walking away with his title.
Whatever happened to the women's tag team titles? Are they still a thing?
Yeah, but I don't know who even has them, to be honest.
Is it,
I thought Asuka
and the Iconics?
No,
they've been off TV for a while. So
Asuka and
oh yeah, that's right. They beat Bliss and Cross.
But I never saw them lose them unless they lost them at Royal Rumble. But I don't know who has them.
No, because they were in the Royal Rumble. No, because Asuka fought Becky. That's why.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Kairi Sane was in the Royal Rumble itself. So
it's just it's one of those like stupid things. Like they just create these titles and then just to have them. Like I get it. You have the men's tag titles, so want to have the girls, but they don't push the girls enough, right? The girls don't get enough mic time the way that the guys do. Like, so you have all these titles, but there's no story behind it. It's just, all right, you guys go fight them. But
they should at least be defended every pay-per-view. And somewhat of a storyline during the week. Somewhat. Yeah. Put them in a match. Like, not even defending, just have them in a regular... It doesn't have to be a title match. Yeah. Just something building to them having a match. Even if it doesn't have a story.
Like, if you go back to the Attitude Era, when like the New Age Outlaws or Edge and Christian or the Hardy Boys, whoever were the tag champions, they'd walk out on Raw every single week. They'd have the belts on TV every single week. They weren't defended, but the champions were there, so you would always see them. So you would be like, oh yeah, they're the champions, and they just got their ass whooped, and the pay-per-view's kind of like, they're going to be like, it made it worth it to because you knew that eventually those titles were going to be defended. Here, you never see the titles, and then they come up like, oh, the defended champion. Oh, who is the champion? It's like,
I don't know what the hell's going on with those titles.
There's too many titles. Also, that's the other thing. Like, I get that their roster is so big that they have to do it, but like even in NXT, like having the North American champion and the tag team champion and all these things, it's like you give like an hour or 2 hour show, and you have all these titles, and it's just like enough. The cruiserweight title, the what else? The NXT and the 205, like all of those things are just way too much going on.
Well, they have like the UK Tag Team Championships.
That's it. Yeah, they got the UK, the Women's UK. They're not even saying women's anymore. They're just saying just the champion.
They have the NXT champion, and then they have the Women's UK Championship, and then the Men's UK Championship.
Yeah.
And they have the Men's NXT and the Women's NXT. Yeah.
But they're getting rid of all of the women's. They're just saying the NXT champion.
So can the women win the men's and the men's win the women?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, they're like, like Rhea Ripley is the NXT champion. I'm like, well, no. Oh, that's right. That's why Batista got the title shot, because Batista helped Vince beat up Bret Hart. So Vince was paying Batista a favor for saying thank you. That's why Batista got the title shot.
Why was Bret back here, though? He was...
It was the storyline for WrestleMania, Vince versus Bret.
Okay.
At WrestleMania. And here, so yeah, this is why the Batista John Cena that whole thing.
So Batista was holding
Batista, Vince.
I got hit. What the fuck? Who hit his leg?
She was backing up in the car.
Yeah. Who was it, Natalia?
What's that?
Was it Natalia?
Yeah.
Was it?
No.
Was it his niece?
It's like, this is for holding my dad back all those years. Look at that phone number. Look at that phone number. 222-2222.
Oh shit, Des Moines, Iowa? That's not too far from here. From Illinois. Get out of the way, it's Bret Hart!
I love how it's a knee injury also. It's not like he was stabbed.
His artery was fucking cut, bro.
He's bleeding out.
Yep.
Then this is around the time when Bret is going to beat The Miz for the U.S. title.
Matt Striker.
And then Lloyds of London comes out and says, "Hey, Bret, you're a champion, and that means that you're wrestling again, and that means that your Lloyds of London's going to be void." So he says to Vince, "Here's the title back. I'm retired again. See you later."
Yeah. What is that? Is that what they're announcing next? Tony Schimmel.
I forgot all about that guy.
Hey, what's so funny over there?
I don't know. It's a $1 Million Man Next Door.
Yeah. Or did she just turn into the Joker?
Here we go.
Are we going to see you get murdered?
Oh, shit, it's McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. Here we go. Mr. Royal Rumble.
$1 Million Man.
This is when Vince was pushing him so hard. And the fans were like, yeah, no.
McIntyre? Damn, I didn't know they put the IC title on him.
Oh, yeah. Vince wanted him to be the future way back then, but the fans weren't buying into it. So they made him with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal become a 3-man band. And just basically crushed everyone's career.
So this is when they thought they had something on their hands?
Yeah. I mean, they were right, but it's like with Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. If you shove it down our throats, we're going to say no thank you.
Yeah.
If you let the guy perform, do his thing, and let the fans warm up to him the right way, then he can get over.
We'll tell you what we want.
Yeah.
Don't tell us.
Like Roman Reigns has 5 title reigns, and I don't think anyone cares about any of them.
Mm-mm.
And the one time that Roman Reigns got over, it was the cancer announcement.
Yeah.
It was the only time the fans were like, oh, he was a good guy.
Dude, how young is fucking McIntyre here?
Seriously, he's got to be
19, dude? Yeah. How old is he?
I was going to say 12.
The fuck? No wonder no one's taking him seriously. Grow that beard in, bro.
God damn.
God damn.
He's a month older than me.
Damn, so this is 2010?
So he's 25 here.
That's pretty young still.
Ooh, fighting the big red monster.
Damn, before his political career. I wonder if at this time he knew he was going to be a politician.
Every time I see Kane, I can't help but think of back in the late 90s when they were calling him the big red retard.
Whoa.
I remember all the time that it was just the regular thing that they were calling him on TV. And I was just like, man, you got away with so much back then. So many things that you said on TV back then that
they did.
And people were they had shirts, they had signs.
X-Pac did blackface. Black body. Chocolate body.
Supposedly Mark Henry okayed it. He talked to him, and Mark Henry was like, "Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all I know you."
Comedy.
Yeah, he's like, "We gotta do what we gotta do."
Yeah, he understands context. That's what people don't understand nowadays. They want to misconstrue whatever you want to say. And if I tell them I have a Red Skull card that has the swastika in the back, right away they're like, "You have a Nazi card?" Yes, all right, but it doesn't mean I'm a Nazi.
You're red, so it's a communist, and the Nazi, so you hate people.
Did I show it to you?
No.
Yeah, I have a Red Skull card with the swastika on the back.
Damn.
I bought it last week. I thought it was pretty cool.
So when did you first know that you hated Jews? When was this?
When they took all the gold.
But that's the thing, right? Like these characters and these things were developed such a long time ago, right? Like that was a thing. Like just because a guy like has it doesn't mean anything. Like we're supposed to pretend that it never happened.
Yeah, exactly. This is history. This is from 1992. I have Captain America card. I probably have more Captain. I only have that one Red Skull card. I have a ton more Captain America cards and figures. I don't even have a Red Skull figure, which I should have, but I don't have one. Hail
We were
Hydra.
watching. What were we watching? Oh, we were watching that Phineas and Ferb show, and they did a crossover with Marvel, and trying to see like Red Skull and Venom in like a show for like 7-year-olds where they're like really really cartoony.
Yeah.
Can't take it seriously at all. It's so bad. It's entertaining, but it's just like
Yeah. Venom for a 7-year-old? I don't know.
But it was definitely designed for it like for kids though. It was not like it was. He wasn't the big tough badass. He was like.
I'm kind of interested in this new Spider-Man, or well, Morbius movie, which will incorporate. So there's the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is like
The Avengers and all those guys.
yeah. So it's all the Marvel movies that lead up into an Avengers movie, and that's what wound up. All the movies led up to Avengers 1, led up to Avengers 2, and then Infinity War, and then Endgame.
Right.
Then
And it all wrapped up with the Spider-Man, right? That was the final installment.
Yeah. So since there was like legal contracts between companies owning
Oh, right. Like
Spider-Man,
Right.
Sony owns Spider-Man and Disney owns Marvel, and they were pretty much borrowing Spider-Man to make the Avengers and stuff like that, and they were paying for the rights of it. And then they had a legal battle, and I think they came to terms where Spider-Man for Sony is going to have his own Spider-Man cinematic universe, but he will still be able to cross over into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, So the Marvel movies will still be able to use Spider-Man, but he will be able to jump into his own universe where he'll be able to pull from Venom, this new Morbius movie, which is the vampire bad guy, and there's going to be a second Venom movie where they'll introduce Carnage. So there's two up and coming movies that have the potential of introducing Tom Holland as the Spider-Man into these movies.
Now, are they going to have it with like the Black Spider-Man, the Girl Spider-Man, like that?
With Miles Morales and stuff like that.
Yeah, are they going to be incorporating those into that universe? Do they know, or
I don't know, but there's a part 2 to that coming out.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a part 2 already for coming out for the Morales.
Right. Okay.
I forget the
Yeah, because I remember when I saw that, I took her out to the movies, and we saw that trailer, and I was trying to figure out like what is happening. Like I know I'm not really deep into the comic book world, so to me, like I had no idea that there was like the female Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man, the regular Spider-Man. Like there was like all these. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like I thought it was like Peter Parker, and that was it.
No, there's
and someone was telling me like how like deep it really goes in that.
Yeah, no, in the cartoons, it gets even crazier. There's like a Madam Web that comes out, and first she makes Spider-Man team up with the Fantastic Four to stop. I forgot who. Or they were trying to stop the Red Skull.
Okay.
And then, oh no, this was a different time, because at one time, Spider-Man, with the help of Madam Web, was able to pick anybody from any certain time to come help him out, to be part of his team. And I think he picked Captain America, which they had to bring back from the past. They had he picked Storm. I think Wolverine was part of that, and like some other.
That's all right.
Yeah, some other Marvel characters from like different shit.
Who owns the X-Men? I
think it went back to Disney. So Disney's back in control of it.
So there's a potential for the X-Men in the Marvel Universe thing going forward, do they know, or?
I think their new movie, The New Mutants, is made by Disney.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that, well, I'm not hoping. What I'm thinking is going to happen is the New Mutants was kind of like a new reboot to the X-Men in the comics. What I'm thinking is going to happen is the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be like, fuck, man. Well, there's so much that's already happened with X-Men. There's so many relaunches and branches, and it's intertwined, and the timelines are all fucked up. Let's just do New Mutants and move on.
Okay.
And I think they might move on to do their own story. Well, not their own storylines, but like the comic driven aspects of New Mutants and stuff like that, and kind of
Yep.
just leave the old ones in the past, and maybe
A lot
down the
of
line reboot it.
a lot of those like the X-Men, the first trilogy, I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they started like First Class and all that, like there were some good characters, but some of the stories are just getting so convoluted. And then Apocalypse was okay. I didn't mind that one. I thought that was a good story. It may have just missed the mark here and there on some things, but I don't know. Like there was this, for some reason, I feel like the X-Men movies, no matter what they do, they just pushed it too hard or something.
Yeah.
Too many twists and turns, and just lost me after a while.
The reason I didn't like Apocalypse was Apocalypse, in terms of being the enemy to the X-Men, is Thanos. And if you if you compare Thanos and the Apocalypse movies, Apocalypse fucking sucks. But maybe that's just because Thanos was done so well. Like that's probably one of the villains that they've done so well in recent time.
Thanos was phenomenal. Like he was like, I mean, I don't know if it was like the actor. I don't know if it was
Josh
like
Brolin.
I mean, it could have been the fact that it was a scene in a movie, a scene in a movie, a scene in a movie, and then all of a sudden there he is. Like really slow building him up. I mean, talk about wrestling. When you, like, if you just push this bad guy, boom. There's no story to it. You can't really connect. But when you have like a story of what he's after, and then finally the whole Infinity Stones and trying to get them all and all that, like it took I think Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the first ones that he was in. So it took like 6-7 years before he actually was in the movie.
Mm-hmm. It took them a while because at first they were building their heroes, and then after they built the base of their heroes, they're like, well, now we need to build the villain, so let's introduce our villain and build up to him.
Yeah,
because even the Avengers movies they were building to him, but it was him sending shit.
Yeah, because like Thor had his guy, Iron Man had his guy, Hulk had his guy. And then eventually it's just like this one guy just off all the way over here doing his own thing, just plotting. Like, just, and finally they get everything in.
I'm interested where it goes now. It's going to go off crazy. It's going to go off into magic, into space, into dimensions. Like even the Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, what's going on? Do they have a director now for that one? After what's his name left?
For Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, for Doctor Strange. The director for Doctor Strange 1, I guess he quit or something.
Oh.
So
they definitely had this one because they've been working on it. I think it's something into the multiverse.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he's venturing into the madness of the multiverse. And he doesn't have the time stone anymore, so he's susceptible to other dimensional fucking demons and creatures that can come out. So I'm interested in that one because I really liked the first one, the visual aspects of it.
Trying to watch that movie the first time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is way too much right now. I'm like,
I was
gonna say, like, I've never taken like any hallucinogenics, but I feel like that is what life would be like if I did.
I took some shrooms and then I put it on.
Oof, you're a braver man than I.
I had to buy it because they had taken it off of Netflix at that time.
And
really? Disney Plus wasn't up. Yeah,
Disney didn't exist yet.
Yeah, Disney Plus hasn't popped up yet, so I bought it on YouTube for like $5. I was like, fuck it, I need to watch this fucking movie.
I keep saying that I'm going to watch all those movies in chronological order, and I never do. Mm-hmm. I feel like I just need to commit like 2 hours a night for like a month, and then I'm good.
You've seen Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Your kids like that one?
Carla didn't like it as much as I thought she would.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when there's like a girl that kicks ass, she's all about it, but she didn't get into that one as much as I thought. I thought it was good. I liked it. She loved Captain Marvel and Endgame. But,
okay, with the short hair.
Yeah.
Hi, Peter Parker, or hi, Spider-Man.
It could have been one of those also, like, it's the first movie, right? So it's a lot of, like, story. It's not a lot of action, necessarily. Like, you watch the first...
and to be honest, that movie was more nostalgic than anything because it was set in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So it gave you a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah, as I found out yesterday.
Your daughter would be like, what the
As I found out, my daughter, like, she wants to play the 90s, but she doesn't want me to enjoy the 90s. Like, who turns down Soundgarden? Come on. God damn.
Damn, how did McIntyre win? I missed it.
I missed probably a roll-up, I'm guessing, or... something cheap.
Poke him in the eyes. Hopefully
Hit
they
him
don't play
with
it.
that. The pole that the metal pole that Cody Rhodes brought down was still there or something. Oh, hello. Boop.
That's what I get for. Oh, here we go. The replay. I was eating berries. Kane goes for the choke slam. The ref gets in between them. Damn,
Oh,
yeah.
it was a poke to the eye.
Yeah, he poked him in the eye, and then he did his finisher. What is his finisher? Double arm DDT? It's the Dean Ambrose DDT.
It's Cactus Jack. Get out of here.
Damn, he retains against Kane.
He got his ass kicked for 10 minutes, and then just hit one move, and that was it.
But who's the heel?
He looks like he's in a boy band. Good
Yeah,
God.
he's super young.
I think McIntyre is probably supposed to be the face, but he could not get over.
Oh my God, Maurice is so hot. I love her accent too. Miz is so lucky.
Just,
I think she's hotter now.
Yeah, like a fine wine.
Mm-hmm. And what's this girl's name?
Like Gail Kim.
Yeah, she was TNA champion, right? Because WWE didn't treat her right. WWE didn't treat her right.
Yeah, so she was the knockout champion. Remember Karma back in the day?
No.
She might be AEW now, the big black girl. She was in TNA, and then she went to WWE, and I think she was there for like a month, and then she announced that she was pregnant, and that was it. She was never seen again on WWE TV.
No.
I
think you're making stuff up, Ryan.
I'm telling you, I remember her.
I saw Ronda Rousey again yesterday, but I didn't pick her up. The figure.
Oh, the figure?
The one I bought my niece. You thought of the real Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, I was just walking down the street. I saw Ronda Rousey, but I didn't bother picking her up.
Hey, piss off, Travis Brown. She's mine. Taking her out to eat.
Awesome Kong. That's who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, so
she is in AEW now.
She's all elite now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit, Carlito. Don't risk yours, WWE. Please do not try this at home. Too late. I'm an adult. I tried as a kid already. Hey, I'm one of the survivors. I'm going to get hurt.
Well, it's like that thing that you had posted the other day. It's like, or no, maybe even Frankie.
The sharpshooter?
If you never put your brother in a sharpshooter, are you even brothers? And I was thinking, like, man, you know how many people I put in a sharpshooter back in the day?
Yeah, my poor brother. I thought it broke his back once. I rock bottomed him on the edge of the couch. I tried to get him on the cushions, but it was like on the edge of the cushion and on the edge of the couch, and it was like on the hard part. I thought it broke his back. I was like, oh fuck.
I put my buddy in a sharpshooter once, and he said, and I leaned back too far, and he's like, ah! So I look over his legs. He's like, I can't move. I'm like, oh shit, this is not good.
And you ran?
I'm like, okay. No, so I said to him, like, okay, if I like we're at my house, I'm like, if I put you on the porch, would you just tell my parents that you fell? I was like, how do I get myself out of this?
Yeah. Like, I'll still get you help, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Like, I'll call 911 if you want, but like, you fell coming up the stairs or something, right? Like,
God damn, these girls are both hot.
Like, with all due respect to the female wrestlers, this is going to be a garbage match. I can just predict, because they had, like, this is back when WWE was still going with like all looks and no talent, or like minimal talent.
So I know I hate a lot on French Canada, but they do one thing right, and that's Maurice. I hear they do have hot chicks over there, and then they speak French. I like girls with accents. I don't know why.
It's well, they say like the best strippers in
Calderwood. Oh my god!
They say the best strippers come from Quebec.
Joanne, from where?
From Quebec. They always, everyone I talk to always like, they always say, "Oh, the best strippers come from Quebec." I'm like, yeah, we have. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What the hell's going on?
Oh, they're gonna have a tag team match. Santina Morella.
Is this what's going on right now?
What's that?
That's what's going to happen right now?
I don't. I hope so. I like Santina more than Santino.
He came out at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Since I am the only diva that has authority in this building, I am officially postponing the Divas Championship match to a tag team match.
Wait, Maurice had the championship?
Two of you.
Or was this for a vacant?
I don't know. I didn't see anyone come down with the title.
Yeah. And she's postponing it.
Michelle McCool, Miss Undertaker.
Yeah, I was about to say she's married to Undertaker, right? Beth Phoenix is married to Edge, and then we have Maurice is married to The Miz. Who's the one on the right?
Layla. This is back when they were Lay Cool.
Damn, she's fucking hot. She wasn't there long. Not that I can remember.
No.
Whoa,
Around
she had a
the-
unique entrance. Bouncing off the middle rope.
Yeah, so the next match was supposed to be the new Divas champion. So this was a vacant title. At one point, Lay Cool, as a team, they win the title, and they have a tug of war over who's going to hold it, and it breaks in half. Like, they broke it in half. I'm like, and so one of them would walk down with one half, and one would walk down with the other, and then they would be like a co-champion. It was one of the worst storylines.
Yeah, no, it sounds as bad as you just
Like,
told
if you
it.
can imagine, like when they're fighting over it, it was like almost like the jagged edges too. Like, it's like there's no way that like it just looked so fake. It looked so terrible.
So Gail Kim can actually work though here, right?
Oh yeah, she like a lot of these girls were okay, but it wasn't like what the product is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when they used to have Sable fighting for the championship, and that's like, what are we doing?
So who's the worst one here? Layla?
I would say probably Maurice.
Maurice?
Yeah,
Has she
'cause
improved? I haven't really seen her wrestle too much.
I never like. I think she was a contestant in one of the Diva searches, and then just kind of got hired on from that. And then
She's really good looks.
after she left just because she didn't want to be on TV anymore, and now they just keep her on because of the Miz. It's the only reason why she's back on TV. Like, I think she had what did they? I think they had a tag team match against someone, like an intergender tag team match a year or two
Brian
ago.
and Brie.
That's it. Yeah. Aside from that, I don't think she's done much in the past 10 years of wrestling.
What about McCool? How good is she?
Serviceable for this era.
Nothing special? Boom.
No. I mean, but it's hard because this era was more, like I said, this was like the looks, right? Like, this wasn't like if you put these girls in there with Becky and Charlotte, you would see like the talent difference, right?
Well, you could see it in the fucking belt. Belt's hideous. I hated this belt, the Divas
The
Championship.
Divas, yeah, like they got rid of the women's champion. Like, the women's championship at least was like I remember when they brought her the Divas Championship, and I'm like, 23, 24 years old, and even at that point, I was like, yeah, it's a little demeaning.
Yeah, you got to put glitter on it and make it purple and put butterfly wings. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like, what was wrong with the women's title?
Yeah.
Like, what was just change the design of the women's title? Why are you making it the Divas Championship? Like, because Diva was never supposed to be like, whenever someone says, oh, it's such a diva, that's not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
So, like, to say that the whole division is a bunch of divas, it's kind of like an insult to the competitors.
And when they came out with the whole thing and they said they were going to drop the whole Divas term and they were going to change the belt, I was like, fuck yeah. I wasn't even around for the Divas shit, but good.
The only thing I'll say with the women's title, it's too big for me. I think they went that the old women's title, almost like what the Intercontinental title looks like. I feel like that's a better design for them because they're not as big as the men. So when you see like Becky comes down with that title, it looks like it's like half her body's missing.
I don't know if you noticed when the first time that Bliss won it, it was gigantic on her, and then they made her like a special one that didn't look as big on her.
They had to.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
Wait, that's still a tag though. So
as you can see how much faith they had in Maurice by having this basically be a 2-on-1 match too.
Yeah,
Right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not even letting Maurice wrestle. So Gail Kim went for the tag. Maurice, did she do the Styles Clash?
Yeah.
That's her move. McCool's the Styles Clash.
Mm-hmm.
What does she call it?
I couldn't tell you. Although I guess Maurice is also a heel, so that's probably why she wouldn't be in this match as much. Let Gail Kim get her ass kicked.
She technically tagged Gail Kim out though by pushing her in the face.
Well, yeah, like when that was always the thing, right? Like if a guy was backing up and he got slapped on the shoulder, that would be like, oh, he made the tag. I'm like, really? God, how did the Miz go from being on was the Real World?
I used to watch that at that time.
He went from the Real World to Maurice. He went from the Real World to this is his real world.
He lucked out, he got lucky.
Most Intercontinental title reigns, like all that stuff.
Because Maurice bounced back after the 2 kids.
Yep.
She's still got a badass body. She's fine as fuck.
The French Kiss DDT.
Is that what it's called? Hers?
Yeah. I gotta look up.
She seems like a really big bitch, though, to be honest.
Well, she's French Canadian. I can say that. I'm allowed to.
My name descends from French, so I can say that too. Chaydez could be French.
Yeah, it has that sound to it.
Because it could possibly be Chaydez. And I think I've said it on here multiple times. It just means like the valley in between 2 mountains. And there's a lot of that in where I'm from, especially. I'm from the mountains in Mexico. And I don't meet a lot of people that their last name is Chaydez. And from the little research I've done, the research says that the name was translated by damn, he's got 2 belts. Or were they?
They were the undisputed tag champions. You had the Raw and SmackDown. There wasn't just one title.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
But he's got the U.S. title and the title. So he's got 3 titles on him right now.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Who is he tag champions with?
Big Show.
And Big Show had 2 titles too?
Yeah, they were Show Miz.
Show Miz.
Yeah, and that was either right before or right after Jericho and Big Show were Jeri-Show.
They were just throwing shit against the wall, see what stuck.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember back when Big Show, I don't know if you were watching it, but they were doing the, he would come out as different gimmicks. Like one time he came out as Shokishi.
No.
Yeah, oh, it was so bad.
I can imagine it. I can imagine how bad it is. Show Hogan? Or Show Hogan?
It was the Showster.
The Showster.
He came out with the glasses, the bandana.
How fast and creative could we have come up with that, Ryan?
Oh, they were like, it was one of those things like, hey, we need to do something fun with Big Show.
Yeah, we've been like, let's dress him up as Hulk Hogan. Like, all right, what do you want to call him? Show Hogan? What about the Showster? Boom! All right, we're done for today. We're going home.
I would love to hear Bruce Pritchard talk about that.
About how fucking stupid the creative was for a show at that time. Montrell VP. I don't know.
Montel Vontavious Porter.
There we go. MVP. He got thrown out right away at the fucking Rumble at his hometown.
He followed the Booker T school of how to get into wrestling. He went to jail first.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he was. I think he was. I don't know what it was. If it was like a robbery, like Booker T or not. But yeah, he went to jail, and then when he got out, he became a wrestler.
Nice. Just like
he had a pretty good run. He was just
like a boxer, Hopkins.
Pardon?
Just like Hopkins.
Yeah.
Bernard Hopkins.
You can fight into your 60s when you start in your 40s.
Yeah. William Regal. He went to my school.
Did he really?
He didn't go to my school, but he visited my school.
Oh, okay.
When I was there, me and Jesus got to see we were in the auditorium when that happened. It was him, Tatanka. I forgot the other 2. I think Jesus remembers, or it might have only been 3.
Mark
Morrow? No. But they were doing like a read books thing back in the day. We were hoping to get Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was part of it, but he went to like a more Latino school, even though ours was like majority Latino too. But
you got the Englishman and
the
native, so you can't complain.
Yeah. We got that.
I love WWE's like we got to send some people out. Okay, let's see. We got the Mexican, we got the native, we got the Englishman.
Yeah.
It's just like
Just send them all
if
out.
you're not American, we don't need you for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, and you're not getting paid extra either.
Mm-hmm. No, they came and they talked and shit. Maybe what's his name would have come out. Kalisto. Kalisto went to the rival school of mine.
Oh, no way.
I wanted to go to that school, but they said I was out of the area, which I wasn't because I had family that went there that lived in the same household as I did, just in the downstairs apartment.
Well, you were downstairs. They were upstairs. That was the difference.
Well, we were upstairs. They were downstairs. I don't know what they were.
That was if you guys had switched, you would have been fine. But you were. That's what I love how like the districts to be like. My buddy lived across the street from me growing up, and he couldn't go to my grade school because he lived across the street. He had to go to a different school.
I do live on that.
I could throw a baseball through his window, but he can't go to my school. Like
I do live on that border thing, but my cousin lived in the same household, and I called them up. I'm like, hey, yeah, I want to go here, but you guys didn't accept me, and they're like, yeah, you're out of the district. I'm like, yeah, but my cousin went there. Like, yeah, that must have been a mistake. Bye. And I'm like, you fucking jerks. You guys just don't want me there. You guys just don't want to do the work.
All you gotta do is fill the paperwork out wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Just I live across the street.
Yeah.
Just get in the door and be like, oh, this is my real address, sucker.
It's like a TV sitcom. You just like walk in, like, hey guys, I'm home.
Like Elaine out of the janitor's closet.
Yeah.
Do you live here?
You walk in there, it's like a Chinese family. You're like, hey guys, mom, dad, I'm home.
Yeah.
Like, you adopted? No.
It wasn't you. No, it wasn't you. It was my friend at work. He was telling me that you can actually go to New York and visit the No Soup for You, and the guy works there.
Yeah.
That they actually have the soup kitchen.
We had one in Windsor, but it
styled after that.
No, like the guy that I forget the actual soup Nazi. He had a chain of restaurants after the success of Seinfeld, but they had like hardcore rules. Like if you referenced Seinfeld, you were kicked out.
Yeah.
You would be fired if you made Seinfeld references. Like he hated Seinfeld for that. But I went in there once just to see like the menu and that. I want to be like Elaine, like type on the thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like the soup was like for like, I mean, like a small thing of soup, and bread was like $15. I walked in, I'm like, yeah, not happening.
My friend said that he tried the soup, the crab bisque. No, I don't know which one he tried, but he said it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I mean, mind you, I'm also like, I got that cockiness of like, I could make this soup no problem. So I'll go and make it myself now.
I would have tried it just because, you're such a big Seinfeld fan. I would have.
See, I would have walked in and been like, I'll have the jambalaya.
Yeah, how many people? How many? Do you think you're the only one, Ryan? How many millions did that? That's why how many million people do you think did that before? He's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm done with this shit. Order like regular people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why he probably put the thing up there. If you reference Seinfeld, I will kick you out.
I bet it was I will kill you, and then he's like, you know what? Let me erase this. I will kick you out.
Yeah. Nothing like a mid pay-per-view promo.
Yeah, what does Edge want?
To find out who he's fighting at WrestleMania. So the winner of the next Elimination Chamber will be taking on Edge.
Oh, this next. So it's not a fair title.
He won the Royal Rumble, so he's won. So he's waiting to see who he's going to take on at the WrestleMania.
Okay. Oh fuck! Why'd he spear Regal? Is Regal being a heel commissioner?
I think it's just Edge being Edge.
Edge is. I'm liking the old school Edge comeback, and I've mentioned it on here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see Edge in the same light that a lot of people see him because I didn't see this Edge. I saw him tasting the title. Like, I saw him getting the title, like, once or twice, and then I kind of dipped out. I was at college. So I didn't really see, like, the Rated R KO. I started seeing the beginning of the Rated R Superstar. I did see him in the Lita thing. But
that was the only... Like, I liked him when he first came in. I liked him in the Brood. I liked all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But when he won the title... Well, first with the whole thing with Lita and Matt Hardy, when they brought that storyline into...
You're on Matt's side, right? You chose Matt.
when they took that real life thing and made a storyline, it just to me it just was like It did nothing for me. If anything, it kind of like turned me away from those segments. And then, when they did the sex celebration on Raw, I was just like, it's like, okay, I get it, I guess, but I don't know. It just did nothing for me. I mean, I saw Lita's nipple on TV, so I mean, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, the whole overall.
Boo! Busch Stadium, they can suck my balls. St. Louis sucks. The team, not the people.
Busch sucks. The
Cardinals, how about that? I'll put it that way.
I just don't like the beer.
They're Chicago's biggest rival.
Yeah,
the Cubs' biggest rival. So, and that's like one of the biggest rivalries in baseball that they really don't like. I don't think there's a lot of detest or hate. I think it's a lot more respect on both levels, but they know they don't like each other.
It's like it's always like I was telling someone, like with the Bears and the Packers. They talk a lot, but there's the respect.
There's a lot more talk though with the Bears and the Packers.
But with the Vikings and the Packers, there's more like just pure hatred.
Yeah, well, the fucking Vikings suck. Who the hell?
And then there's the Lions that everyone just feels sorry for.
I'm gonna have to edit that out so Jeff doesn't get butthurt.
He knows.
He knows.
They all know.
Yeah, but why rub it in?
Look at all the titles. Like,
that's so awesome. That looks
cool.
Do
we
though.
Need that many titles?
I don't know. It looks cool though. I'd want to have them on me though. It reminds me of the video game days where I'd create my guy and then I put all the titles on him.
Everything on him, yeah.
And no one has a title and I got to defend them all at every pay-per-view. It's just me fighting every pay-per-view and my guy's stamina goes down every match.
Around this time also, one of the Survivor Series, I don't know if it was like 2009, 2010, but was MVP, Kofi, Mark Henry... Oh, I can't think of the other guy, and Christian, and they're talking. So they got these 4 black guys and Christian, and they're just referencing how he doesn't really fit in. He's just like, why? It's because like I'm not as athletic, so I'm not like just doing like really giving up all the stereotypes. And then when he goes to walk away, someone's like, hey, you guys are all black, and he just like walks off screen. It was just like one of the funniest promos that they've done.
What's MVP doing?
That's his thing.
So Mark Henry, in some aspects, that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
So in some aspects, Mark Henry is really the world's strongest man.
Yeah, I heard how they talked about it on, I think it was Something to Wrestle. Mm-hmm. They were talking about how it was like a culmination of things.
Yeah, so if you combine all the major focus points of weightlifting, like the big lifts, if you combine his lifts all together, and you do it with everyone else as well, his max lift is, the total of all the lifts together is more than anyone else's. And
yeah, because they had something like, it's like in a competition, like he could finish second, third, and then first, but when they total up all the weight overall, the other guys finish
cumulatively. Like, he has more, and I think other guys have had more cumulatively, but they've tested positive for performance-enhancing steroids and shit like that. And Mark Henry has been tested his whole life, and he has never tested positive for anything.
I mean, he tests positive for like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, he's sexual chocolate, though. That runs in his blood.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Right after the Nation of Domination.
But that was before he impregnated Mae Young.
Yeah. She gave birth to a hand?
Yeah. What was it? I think it was like 10 years, or no, probably like 20 years later, they brought, they looked like the Hamburger Helper costume, and it was like Mark Henry's son's all grown up. It was so bad, so corny. Getting your dresses?
Dress up time?
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, the kiddos.
She's never found a camera she doesn't like.
The other day, my niece, the 7-year-old, because I've been cooking a lot more, and like she sees that I cook, but necessarily they don't want to try what I, because you know they stick to the simple stuff, and I'm cooking keto for me and my nephew anyway. But she comes up to me the other day and she looks at me and she's like, "You know how to cook, huh?" And then she just walks away, and I'm like, yeah, get out of here.
That's right.
But it's good. They get to see a male that knows how to cook. Positivity.
That's it, right? Like that's the thing too. Like I remember when I was
In Real
starting to
Male
cook
Romanos.
at home and all that kind of stuff. Like my dad was like, "Why are you cooking? Why are you cooking?" I'm like, "I like it. It's fun. It's easy. I know how to do." Like it just came naturally. And then I got a job at a restaurant. These guys, these kids I babysat, their dad was a chef, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to wash dishes at the restaurant? Make some extra money." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I get in there, it's like one girl and all guys. I'm like, "The fuck? Where's all the girls? Like, how? There's only guys cook?" And they're like, "Oh, you never worked in the kitchen before, have you?" I'm like, "Nope."
So like I said, I cooked for my parents on Friday. I cooked for everyone on Friday, and my dad's like, "How much do I owe you?" I'm like, "Nah, it's nothing. It's fine." He's like, "No, how much do I owe you?" And I'm like, I'll knock off $10 from whatever I give you for rent." And then he ate the food. I made him a plate for him and my mom, and then he came over and he's like, "Knock off 20." He's like, "They'll charge you a shitload of money for that plate of food you just gave me at any restaurant."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, "All right, whatever." I'm not gonna argue with you.
It would have been better if you walked up and said, "I'm increasing your rent."
Yeah, shit. You should be getting paid for this shit. What are you doing? Go open a restaurant.
You're like, "I'm working on the pops."
And you get a food truck.
My buddy just got one. He has a burger joint in town here, and he just got a food truck to go along with it.
Nice. This guy in Champaign that I used to work with at Meatheads, he hit me up the other day, and we were talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude." He's like, "I recently got my my food truck over here. I guess they make like Mexican cuisine, and they have a restaurant, but they also have a food truck, which is pretty cool." Over there, there's Mexican spots, but like over there on campus, one really authentic one opened up where they make handmade tortillas. They make them the day of, like fresh made handmade tortillas, and then it's just the Mexican style food, and then they know how to cook Mexican food. So you just add homemade ingredients and knowing how to cook, and that's all you need. That's why I tell my dad, fresh. He brought frozen shrimp the other day, and I'm like, fresh. I'm like, I'm the chef. If you want me to cook shit, fresh.
Like I get if you have like a good supplier kind of thing, frozen is as long as you know it's like fresh frozen. It's not like that. Like I hate more than anything when you go to a place and they're like they take the shrimp, it's got to defrost it. I'm like, all right, whatever. And you open up the freezer and it's like pre-cooked frozen, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is like not happening.
I bought frozen salmon, Alaskan salmon, and they freeze it, so they freeze it right away.
Right.
Kill it, and then dude, Aldi has. I don't know if you guys have Aldi in Canada, but they have definitely stepped up their organic game, their keto game. I don't know if it was before because I never paid attention, but like I've been eating Aldi my whole life, and I don't know if it's taken different. Like before, it was like the you're broke store, and now it's like it's gotten a lot better. Before it was like you'd go in and you pay the quarter for the cart, or you put in the quarter for the cart, and you have to buy your own bags. So you'd steal a box, and you'd steal a box that was pretty empty, and you'd fill up the box, and that's what you leave with. They've definitely gotten a lot more organic. They've tried to get like Trader Joe's kind of style, like Whole Foods kind of look. Because before they just like dropped the pallet of flour, and it's just like a giant square thing of flour, and it was just like, hey, here's all this shit, and it's cheap because we're not putting the effort into making it look good. Now, as of recently, they've made it look good, and it's still pallet-esque, but the presentation is a little bit better.
Right.
And the food choices apparently have gone up in quality and in variety of organicness and cleanness. Dude, they have bison there. They have different choices of salmon. They have grass-fed, grass-finished beef. And I'm finding out the differences between like the labeling they put on the packaging, because sometimes they'll put it's grass-fed, no hormones. But the FDA lets you put that if you do it towards the end of their killing phase. They could raise them up until the end, and then right at the end just switch it, and it's like, well, they've been raised their whole life on that other shit. And
it's like McDonald's with the 100% ground beef, and everyone's like, "Well, McDonald's is the best because they use 100% ground beef." I'm like, you know that's the name of the company, right? That's not. They're not making a claim. They're just that's like saying we got our stuff at A&P. Like there's no that they're
Yeah,
not.
McDonald's is crazy.
They're-
I tell people because I'm like, McDonald's has their own ketchup, right? And they're like, what? I'm like, they have their own Coke, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, yeah, they have their own formulas that only go out to McDonald's.
Well, and to me, I also find funny too is like the Beyond Meat. And everyone's like, and everyone just shits on. They're like, look at all the stuff that's in there, blah blah blah. Like, I'd rather have the burger. I'd rather have this and that. And like, I look at them and I'm like, you understand the whole point is that once every few months you want to have a McDonald's burger, but you're vegan. You go there. They're like, yeah, but if you eat that stuff every single day, it's not good for you. I'm like, if you eat McDonald's every single day, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Like that, it's just people. People just want to like, I don't know. There's so much hatred towards like different things nowadays, right? So it's like, if you do something different than me, so I have to figure out a way to make you feel like shit for how you live your life. Like it's like someone wants to be vegan, but they want to eat a fast food burger once in a blue moon. Nothing wrong with that. They just want the option to do it. Like, yeah, if you eat anything every single day, it's gonna kill you.
Oh yeah, dude.
The whole point of the Beyond Meat burger is to go out there. Hey, you know what? We haven't had fast food in 3 months. Let's have a quick little cheat day. Boom, done. Like,
see, I'm not going that crazy with the impossible things. I'm gonna eat super clean during the week, and then I'm giving myself cheat day Saturday.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like that's the best way to do it too, because it's one of like if you go too hardcore with it and you have like eliminate stuff like right out, and then that one time that you might have like 3 slices of pizza and you haven't had it for like if you had no grains for like 6 months. Your body holds onto that stuff for so long, and it's hard to get rid of because your body feels like it's like a faster feast or famine, right? So your body's like, oh, we're not. This is something we haven't had in a long time. We got to hold on to that kind of stuff, and like rice will destroy your body if you don't have it for a long time, and then you have some like. It's hard. You got to be smart about it.
I get to try cauliflower rice this week with
That's
salmon.
pretty sweet. Yeah,
So I'm gonna make some garlic cauliflower rice. Maybe add some broccoli. In there, I bought some broccoli too.
You should, you can buy it in the store, but it kind of scares me when you see it in the store. But like zucchini noodles, I have a spiral slicer, so I'm always making like zucchini pasta and stuff like that.
See, I've thought about doing that, but I would need to get the thing that spins it.
Yeah,
into
you can get a spiral slicer for relatively cheap,
on Amazon,
and it works well. When I see it at the grocery store and I walk by and I see like the zucchini's all spiraled up and it's in the packaging or whatever, I look at them like, geez, I take the zucchini and I make the noodles and within 5 minutes they're starting to wilt and go bad. This is on a shelf in a package and it's like looking pristine. Like, how much crap are you putting on this stuff to make it? You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather like just do it myself.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I'm gonna try this fathead dough thing, and because I saw that like recipes to make with fathead dough. One was pizza, one was cinnamon buns, and one looked like pasta. And I just have to, round it out, thin it out, and then
slice it up.
Yeah, and then slice it into thin slices, and then cut those thin slices in half, and then boil it, and then just put it on the plate, and then toss
your sauce on top.
Yeah. And then whatever meat and shit I want, and I could get a good pasta out of fathead dough.
Nice.
And for those people that don't know what fathead dough is, it's a keto alternative to cauliflower dough, and it's mozzarella cheese, egg, and almond flour all mixed together. You just melt the cheese up a little bit, drop an egg in there, mix it together, and then drop some almond flour in there, mix that all together, and it forms into like dough. It looks like dough. It's crazy.
You know what else you could just do with that involves egg and a little bit of flour and mozzarella? You could just toss some mozzarella sticks onto a plate with some tomato sauce. There you go.
Yeah.
Here, I made ravioli.
I didn't think about that with the almond flour.
I bet that'd be delicious.
Yeah, I can make mozzarella sticks. You're right.
That would be delicious.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm expanding my recipes. That's why I got the cauliflower rice.
You're already making like you're already making the tomato sauce, right, for the pasta. So that's basically the same thing.
I just buy the canned or crushed tomatoes, and then I add everything else and make the marinara.
Yeah. Oh, Kobe.
Is that your dog's name?
Yeah.
In tribute?
When we got him, his name was Colby. And I'm like, we took him in. And his name's Colby. I'm like, well, that's not happening because my first thought was Colby cheese.
Oh, okay.
I'm not naming my dog after a type of cheese. And I was like, what can we say? And he was like 8 when we got him. So I'm like, we got to think of something that's going to sound the same. So I'm going to call him like Steve. He's going to be all confused. So I'm like, Kobe, perfect. But now every time I'm like, if I nonstop, I'll be like, you toss a piece of paper and you yell Kobe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like for the last 2 years, every time I yell Kobe, he just comes running into the room. Like, no, I'm not calling you, you idiot. I'm throwing something in the garbage.
Yeah, not to jump back on it, but like the days after he died, and I would shoot something, I'd be like, Kobe.
Well, I was gonna say that's like for me, I've always done that, right?
Yeah.
To the point where guys that I work with that have never watched basketball, they don't care about it. If they see me crumple up some paper, they're like, Kobe. I'm like, yeah, you see, like the legend lives on. You guys have no idea who he is, and here he is.
At first, it was kind of Jordan, but it really took off with Kobe. I think I say Jordan because it's Chicago, but I think it's really
I don't even know how it became Kobe because like there was a lot of guys.
You want to know why?
Well, I know a lot of guys chuck up shots, but
you know why?
Why?
I think this is why. Chappelle's Show.
Oh, okay.
There was a skit where he makes her sign the affidavit or the contract, the sex contract, to where he can have sex with her so he doesn't get sued. And then
damn!
And then he's like, Mark Henry through the barricade. He makes her initial for anal or no anal, and she's like, no, it's Rashida Jones in the skit.
Okay.
And then he bangs her, and he comes all fast, and she's like, that's it? And he's like, yeah. Now sign this shit, bitch. Or he's like, and sign this, and it's an affidavit, so she won't say nothing. And he's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I promise I won't say nothing. And he's like, yeah, or I'll sue your ass. And then he throws the condom into the garbage can, and you see it hit the rim, and it hangs out, like the part of it hangs out with the cum on it. Yeah. But he says Kobe when he shoots it because it's a skit in jest of Kobe. He's making fun of Kobe at the time because of the whole trial.
Right.
So I think that's where it might stem from. I'm not 100% sure.
That would make a lot of sense because I just remember how often it's always a thing. You just whatever you have, you just toss it in the garbage, no matter what. And I just remember sometimes people started yelling out Kobe. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, cool. I guess that's the thing that we're doing now.
Yeah, no, Chappelle didn't bang her right, and then he makes her sign the other contract, the silence contract, and then he shoots the condom, and he's like, Kobe.
That's awesome. Looks like Miz went the hard way to get busted open there.
Yeah, they actually have
They're looking at him, making sure he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Doink the Clown.
Damn, right through the barricade. Ooh. No, well, so cuts, people would say, well, it's just a cut, it's whatever. So, let's say that canvas has already had the Elimination Chamber, 2 females.
Yeah.
And all their sweat, a little bit of that sweat gets into fucking his cut. It festers a little bit. Yeah, you get a little bit of staph infection, MRSA.
Well, I always remember thinking, obviously this is before you learn about testing and that, but I remember seeing matches where both guys would just be bloody, and I'm like, what happens if one of them has HIV and they don't know? And they're just going at, but then you find out afterwards how often these guys are tested for things, and they got to make sure that they're taking care of their bodies because of the fact that they're their work environment, right?
Mm-hmm. They better. You got to be safe.
You got to.
Because I remember when I used to take jiu-jitsu, our coach would say, he's like, look, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. I'm not saying anyone stinks. But he's like, if anyone does stink, it'll help if you shower. But I don't want you guys to get sick if you guys have cuts. He's like, there's bacteria on the mats. There's bacteria in your sweat. He's like, and he mopped up every time, he'd go do the solution with clean the mats and mop the mats. Or someone would do it. He'd have to have someone do it. But even if we'd come up with our rash guards with no shirt under, he'd make us go put on a shirt so it absorbed more sweat.
Right.
Just shit like that. And he just tried to make it as safe as possible because he knew about MRSA and about getting shit in your cuts. It just wasn't safe. So that's where I learned it from.
Sorry, I'll sidetrack watching the National Guard guy Wolfpack.
Yeah, right.
I'm that the Wolfpack ended 12 years ago, right?
For life, Ryan, right?
Yeah, no, they're forever. And to go is for life. What was it? Guy that just died. Well, not just died. Died probably 6-7 years ago. The black guy, fought in Pride, Randleman. Dude got MRSA, had a hole in his chest, a hole. Kevin Lee when he fought Tony Ferguson, man,
had a pus ball in his fucking chest.
Yeah, he had straight up Joe Rogan's that's a staph infection. And and I remember like the story was like DC knew about it, but he's like, they're like telling him in his ear like, don't say it, don't say it. He's like, oh fuck, he's already talking about it. Yeah, that is definitely it. Like,
Joe Rogan's like, is that Staph? And DC's like, oh fuck, that's definitely Staph, Joe.
yeah. He's like, DC was like in his ear, like they're telling me not to say it, but I'm like, it's already been brought up at this point. Like I can't say nothing. I have to say something. But yeah, you definitely don't like. Yeah, that's the thing too. You don't realize those rings, if they get packaged up and just shipped off into the truck to the next location, those rings aren't washed on a regular basis.
Gotta watch
So
out.
I remember Stone Cold there when he lost the title to Kane at King of the Ring back in '98. He comes out and his arm's just completely bandaged up, and they said that he had like a really bad staph infection. I was like, okay, whatever. It's like probably just had a little cut on his elbow, got infected, like whatever. Like things get infected, it just happens. Then I found out what staph was. I was like, oh, like that's actually fairly serious. Like,
Yeah, when I broke my leg, they held me in the hospital for 5 days. And I, like, you know, a broken leg is a broken leg. I didn't think it was that necessary for 5 days. But the thing is, I had a compound fracture and the bone stuck, it poked through the skin and it was exposed to the elements. So my bone marrow and the inside of my bone was susceptible to staph infection. So they had to keep me in the hospital after surgery for 5 days to make sure that I did not show any symptoms of staph infection. And yeah, pretty much it. They kept me there for 5 days, and I hated it because during that time we had just declared war on Afghanistan. So all the channels...
This is a long time ago.
Yeah, I was 14. So all the channels were ridden with war coverage because we just started the war. So Fox 32 was news all fucking day. So I had to miss The Simpsons. I couldn't watch Seinfeld. I couldn't watch any of that shit. And I didn't know at the time that I could request for a TV to be rolled to me with video games in it. So I was just listening to music and playing my Game Boy. It sucked for 5 days. Taking a shit sucked. I got to piss in a bottle though.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Give me something to do.
Yeah, like a giant can thing, and the nurses had to come throw it out. That sucks, but you know, whatever. Second chamber match?
Main event time, yeah.
Damn.
SmackDown title.
Okay. Oh, was this title on SmackDown at the time? They switched over to SmackDown, the World's Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, the big gold. This is the big gold title now.
Mm-hmm. Possibly my favorite title.
Yeah, growing up, I wouldn't have cared for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're little, you know what you know and what you see, and that's it. So for me, that it was the winged eagle that Bret Hart always had.
Yeah.
Before they made it more round, that one's always been my favorite.
Is Reign Executioner here?
Yeah, look, he's the Executioner. Yeah, but now that I know the history of the big gold one, I'm like, okay, yeah, that one, I get it now. Now it makes sense.
The original big gold is actually gold plated.
Really?
I think it's silver and gold plated. It's an actually really expensive belt. Conrad was saying it the other day, or on one of the episodes that I listened to. That's why they used to put deposits down on it. Ric Flair used to have to pay for it and shit like that. Pretty expensive deposits.
Yeah, it's fascinating to listen to some of those. That Dominic?
No, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids wearing that mask. Oh, he's gonna give it to who? That kid already has a mask. Give it to the black kid. You fucking jerk. Rey Mysterio being racist, giving it to the Mexican kid with a fucking mask already. He doesn't need two masks. The black kid's sitting there with no mask, and he didn't give him shit. Fucking Ray.
Ray's probably like, come on, look at the seats you got. You guys got money. You can afford a mask.
Yeah.
That's my royalties I'm missing out on.
Yeah, because he was touching heads with all the fucking kids that had masks.
When you hear the history about from the territory days, from back in like the 60s, 70s, when Bruce and even Tony Schiavone, when they talk about that kind of stuff, and you hear, like, I had no idea how the business operated. Like, the NWA champion would go territory to territory, but you had to, like, put the down payment that everything was going to be kosher, it was all going to be good, and if you messed up or if something happened, whatever, like, you were just out with that money. So guys were like, 'cause I think what was it was the, I think it was when WWE or WWF broke away and really started it was like the Vince Senior. They were talking about one of the episodes.
Yeah, the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, and they had taken, was it Buddy Rogers had taken the belt to him, and then they broke away, and he was afraid. They wanted him to drop the title, and Vince said, no, I want the champion to be with me or whatever.
Yeah.
And
so a little bit, like, I've looked into it, like the territorial days on YouTube, and I've checked out a little bit of the history, and yeah, they travel from town to town, but what started happening is the ones with a little bit more popularity started refusing to drop titles to other territories because they wanted the champion. So, did you say Buddy Murphy it was?
Buddy Rogers.
Buddy Rogers. I'm not sure if it was that guy exactly, but the WWF at the time, or WWF at the time, was like, I don't even think it was that at the time. It might have been something different, but they took him all over there to the New York region territory, and they're like, look, he was the previous champion. We're naming him our champion because the NWA wasn't playing along with what they wanted. So then at that time, there was two champions that could lay claim to the championship because they had previously held the championship. One was champion. And then other territories followed suit. So that's how we got Jim Crockett. That's how WWF got started. That's how Smoky Mountain Promotions got started. Midwest Well, they were already there, but then they all started...
They also became more independent. They weren't part of the alliance.
Because they started buying up previous champions and being like, well, see, he was a previous world champion too. We're naming him our world champion to justify our belt, to us having a belt. And I don't know where we were going with that.
Well, that was just that. I think that was the time too where he'd only Rogers agreed to lose it back to the NWA because of the down payments, and so that's where So then all of a sudden they created this one title, and then then everyone else started getting their own titles, and then in came Vince Jr. and he's like, "I'll buy you. I'll buy you. I'll take your belt."
Yeah, and everyone says that everyone wants to hate on him, but Vince Jr. kind of went to all these guys and said, look, I have this vision, I have the plans, I have the money, I have the TV. Do you guys want to join me in this venture that I'm about to do, and we can all go in it together? And everyone said, nope, fuck you. So Vince McMahon said, all right, cool. I'm going to do this on my own.
And there was a lot of things I was reading about, where Vince had to pay, these, some of the numbers I've seen just seem too ridiculous of how much he had to pay his father monthly to get the full ownership. And if he missed one payment, all ownership went back to his dad and Vince would get nothing back. I'm like, maybe. But at the same time, if Vince Sr. died, it would have just went right to Vince Jr. odds are anyway, in some way, shape, or form. He was going to be involved with the company. So it was a little weird to me that, I don't know. I think there's a lot of it's Vince telling stories to make it sound like how hard he had to work. And don't get me wrong, he busted his ass to get the company to where it is now. But I feel like there's a lot of pro wrestling elements in that story.
Oh, 100%.
There has to be.
So we have Ray in one pod. I forgot who the other.
This is why I like the big gold right there.
Oh, God, it looks so.
Take her with big gold. It makes it look so good.
At that time, if they would have put a title on me, I would have requested at least one time with this. If I were a WWE guy, I would have wanted my career to have the big gold on it at one point or another.
I think this was the entrance where Undertaker gets burned.
That's why he's pissed. You kind of rushed in.
Yeah, because he was taking his time. Something had happened when he was. I think it was this one, but it might be something different. But one of the explosions caught him a little bit.
Yeah, they misfired they usually fire them off at the speed he's walking.
Yeah.
But they fired off the wrong one, and he already had passed it. Yeah, he looks pissed, and he did rush in there.
And he just he just ripped off everything, just marched his way in. Yeah, he's
ready to go.
It was definitely around this time that it happened too.
Or was it a WrestleMania, or was it this?
Yeah, I don't think it was WrestleMania. I think it was this one.
I. 'Cause, 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 throw that on the Google machine. See what it says.
Oh, you're doing? I'm doing the exact same thing. That's funny. Taker Burns. Yeah, Elimination Chamber 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, man, this was it. Oh shit, this is CM Punk with
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows and Bald Chick. I don't know who that Bald Chick is.
Serena. This is the Straight Edge Society. Where he's the cult leader.
Was she only ever in this?
Yeah, she came in. She came in with hair, and in order to join the Straight Edge Society, she had to shave her head.
Why does CM Punk have long hair then?
He doesn't after the next pay-per-view.
But why does he get to be in there with hair?
Because he's the cult leader.
I guess.
I mean, at that Nexium sex cult, how come all the sex leaders had to get burned, but not the leaders?
Mm-hmm. I was never a huge CM Punk fan. Not saying that I hate him. I just wasn't around the time that he built up to fame.
I always enjoyed his matches, but I never really got the. I think it's the independent guys. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, he's the best. He's the best. He's the best. I'm like, he's good. Don't get me wrong.
He's good on the mic too.
He's great on the mic, but I always feel like he was maybe like, and when it came to like the all-time top superstars, I'd say he's like tier 2 or tier 3, and I feel like way too many people put him like top of the top tier, and I'm like, he's not that good, guys. Let's slow it down.
I think they put him up there because if he would have stayed around and if he would have had the longevity, maybe. But with him stepping away, him doing UFC, yeah, I don't know if he'll ever reach that. But here's one thing I do get to rub in all the CM Punk fans' faces. I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I was never around for this era, so I didn't get to watch CM Punk, and he's talking shit to everyone right now. He's coming almost on everybody while they're locked in the cell. I get to partake in one of the last CM Punk chants that he's going to walk out to unless he ever comes back to wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He here in Chicago when he came and fought, and he lost.
Was it a Raw or
no? He lost in UFC.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to see him versus Mike Jackson. I think it was.
That was the one where the Dana White was pissed off because he's like, he should have finished him in every single round, but he didn't.
Yeah, and he fired Mike Jackson after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like we were there, and like every time I met a Raw or like we went to a show, they'd be CM Punk. I was even here the one in Chicago where Stephanie was like, if you guys would have kept that going for 10 seconds longer, that would have been longer than CM Punk's fight. And then we were like, ooh. Right. I was there live for that one, so I was there to witness that. And then I was able to be there for his UFC debut here in Chicago. And we were all, I was jumping in it too. I was like, CM Punk, CM Punk. We were all chanting CM Punk. But, because I've been a part of a lot of them where he's not there.
R-Truth's been around for a while, eh?
Yeah.
10 years ago, he was still in this company.
And he's 50. He's like 50 right now. But Brock Lesnar, I don't know if you heard the rumors. Brock Lesnar wants to work more with R-Truth ever since that promo that they did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. He thinks R-Truth is hilarious.
And Vince McMahon wants to fire Matt Riddle.
Oh, because he's picking fights with all the the guys?
I guess he's upset with how he's using social media and how he's openly talking about wanting to retire Brock and stuff like that. Let him have his fun.
Play off of it.
If it was anybody else, like if it was Roman Reigns doing that, they would have been like, cool.
Play off of it.
That's what they do with half the other things, right? Every time someone gets in like a Twitter beef, they try to like, hey, we can use this as an angle.
No, I don't know if you've seen the actual backstage things. I don't know how serious it is, but it seems very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess there's been like a lot of like Brock Lesnar's like just Brock's like, listen, like do this, do that, whatever. But I guess he's just like, dude, just shut up right now. Like nothing's happening right now. Shut up about it right now.
So Punk and R-Truth are about to start off the match. Everyone's locked in. But no, so Matt Riddle, the other day Goldberg was in the back, and then he walked by.
Oh, that's because they had the thing too back in last year. So
Goldberg was like, hey, come over here, dude. And he's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, all the stuff you're doing, he's like, it's not gonna, he's like, I'm not into it. He's like, maybe we can work together one day in the future. He's like, let me get through my stuff, let you get through yours. He's like, but I'm not into it, dude.
And he's entertaining. Like he's had like Matt Riddle. Like for like I remember seeing him in the UFC. Like he was annoying to me in the UFC, and seeing him now, like I'm like, hey, this guy's all right.
But dude,
like,
it got pretty awkward though after this. So like, Matt Riddle was like, "Oh no," he's like, "I'm sorry," kind of being respectful, but Goldberg was not having it, and he's like, "No," he's like, "It's all good, bro." And then Goldberg's like, "I'm not your bro," and then he's like, "Oh no, I hear you, but you're my bro," and he's like, "I'm not your bro, dude."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it got kind of awkward where he's like, "Stop calling me your fucking bro," and this guy's like, "Oh no, I hear you, I hear you, bro."
Goldberg's calling him disrespectful when meanwhile he was crippling guys left, right, and center because he didn't know how to wrestle. Like,
yeah, and the other thing that I heard with Brock pretty much went up and told him, "Stop your shit on social media. You doing this shit on social media is going to make me never have a match with you. So keep it up, and you'll never fucking."
That's the thing. Like, if you do it when you're in a program with the guy, and you can talk smack because you guys are working towards something. That's one thing. But when you're in the midst of like was it the Broser weight that what they're calling him, Pete Dunne? I think they got their little tag team thing happening right now. There's no point. Like WrestleMania's coming up. You're not going to be fighting Lesnar at WrestleMania, so just lay low, and if something happens, then you can bring it up. Like,
Oh man, R-Truth and CM Punk starting off a strong ass Elimination Chamber match, coming at us with heat.
I think R-Truth is catching up, or he might already be like the most decorated champion in WWF history. He's got to be up there because he has about 50 24/7 title reigns. So I mean that's. Yeah. I remember seeing something that was like the most title reigns in WWE history, and they said number 1 is Edge and number 2 is Raven. I'm like, how the fuck is Raven number 2?
Yeah.
So I'm reading his titles and accomplishments.
Hardcore championship.
He was like a 25-time hardcore champion. I'm like, oh, come on, like get out of here with that nonsense. Like, yes, it's a title, I guess, but like, come on.
I guess it does count.
Like,
it's not in the. What do you call it?
It's not a real title that people look at. Like,
they don't have it in the. What do you call it when you get all of them?
Oh, like the Grand Slam.
Yeah, they don't. It's not part of the Grand Slam for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I think, what is it? United States and European, and Intercontinental. No,
yeah,
you.
Well, they have the Intercontinental, the Tag Team, the Heavyweight, and then they added in the European, and then they added in.
But the European can be interchangeable with the U.S. for that.
With the U.S., yeah, and then some guys have had all of those, and then they got the guys who have had, like, John Cena has been like both heavyweight and WWE, and yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like they always tout these guys as having the Grand Slam or the Triple Crown, and then they start adding in all these other titles in different terms. It's like, okay, here we go.
All right, so CM Punk just eliminated R-Truth.
Gonna cut a promo.
Is this the pay-per-view that Paul Heyman wanted?
Better pray that your pod door opens last.
Pointing at the Undertaker, telling him you better come out last.
I'm gonna make you tap out just like I did before.
Is this the pay-per-view where he wanted CM Punk to run through everyone and just eliminate everyone one by one? And yeah, I think it was, but I don't think they wanted.
I'm gonna prove to the world that straight edge means I'm better than you.
You like the 4 stars across the ass, the Chicago tribute?
What's that?
The Chicago tribute, the Chicago flag tribute on his trunks. You know what that is, right? The 4 stars.
No.
Yeah, that's why he always has the stars.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I know that he changed it to for Macho Man there the next year.
Yeah, no, but the 4 stars, they're the Chicago flag.
Chicago thing? Okay.
Yeah,
And then he went down to 3 for a little bit of his career for the Macho Man, but then he went back to 4.
Yeah, so the Chicago flag, it's like light blue and white, and like it's got the 4 stars in the middle with the white. It's like a light blue stripe, white, and then light blue, if I'm getting it right, and then the stars on the white part. It's pretty simple, but like it's red stars. Yeah, you see? Rey Mysterio. I don't have a CM Punk fig, and I hope that now he's back with the company, at least as Announcer role, I hope Mattel releases some more figs on him. Because
Someone told me that, or I
Jesus
read
has
somewhere
some.
that CM Punk's technically not with WWE, like because like something like the way that his contract works, he's signed to was it Fox, I guess.
Kind of like with Steve Thompson, Chael Sonnen, they're with ESPN, but not with UFC. But they work for
Yeah.
They work under the Bellator banner as well.
Yeah. So,
So-
it was someone had. I was reading it somewhere that CM Punk can technically, if he really wanted to, he could go to AEW because his contract's with Fox, not with WWE, and that's why he's not been on WWE programming yet. And they don't know if he's going to make his way to be back on TV.
How long before he cuts his hair?
I think it was WrestleMania he lost. I think it's the next. I thought it was the next pay per view, but I might be wrong. But he loses to Ray for sure. Him and Ray do
Mask versus hair.
Yeah, I think it might be Mask versus Hair.
But then
or it might have been if Ray loses, he has to join the Straight Edge Society because that was his thing. Like he wanted to like save people, so it might and kind of like the Nexus there when they beat John Cena and he had to join them for a while.
Just spoiler alert: CM Punk loses that hair versus. Well, I think he does because he dons a mask.
He definitely ends up having to shave his head
because
sure.
He shaves his head and then puts on a mask to block it, right? So the people
That's
don't see him.
right. Yeah, he had like that. What do you call it? It looked like S&M.
Yeah. Jesus has that figure, I'm pretty sure, but they used to sell that figure.
Oh, really?
Jesus has a lot of shit. He doesn't have that Macho Man I have, though. Yeah.
So it was Over the Limit was the pay-per-view where he
push it to the limit. Past the point of no return. Damn, motorcycles over there. In the kitchen.
Yeah, so it was if Ray lost to WrestleMania, he had to join the Straight Edge Society, and Ray wins, and then the second pay-per-view, he flew him.
Dude, he darted him into the fucking pod.
CM Punk's like, hey, remember what Nash did to you? Check this out.
I wish that girl had hair. She'd be a lot hotter. Boom, dude.
God.
What the hell, Punk? Oh, God.
How big is he? Ray's what, like 5'2", 5'3"?
He's short as hell. I'm not sure, but he's tiny. He's definitely widened out, though, during his fucking years. Going back and watching old WCW, I'm like, man, he's tiny as fuck. And then watching him now, it's like, man, he's fat.
The best is when you see him with this kid. This kid's like towering over him.
Yeah, that's hilarious. My God, what's he doing? He's crazy. He's crazy.
I was about to say, I forget who it was, but someone goes onto the top of the pod. I think Jeff Hardy might have done it once. Go to sleep from the top.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. What are they going for? Hurricane Karana off the top? Or kick his leg out?
That's it.
Yeah.
All that build up, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of gay. What's now? What's going now? Hurricane Karana. Oh, onto the steel. Oh. Springboard. Nope.
Just like a little star splash that they teach you when you're 5-year-olds and you're
what?
Oh, wow.
What? That's how they eliminate Punk? Why does Ray have no eyebrows?
Well, he was shaving his head and he just kind of got carried away.
Yeah. At least half of it was gone. I wonder if it bothers his mask. Or it just got rubbed off over time. He just doesn't have it anymore. Damn, so Punk got eliminated by Rey Mysterio? You could have left him in for such a long more time?
You know?
Boom. Monkey flip.
Now, you talk about someone filling out over the years. Jericho now in AEW, man. Whew.
You leave our AEW champion alone. Or the Ryan talking shit.
He kind of, every time I see Chris Jericho now, like the scarf, the hat, the looking old and all that, I just think of Mickey Rourke every time I see him.
The wrestler?
Yeah.
It's a hard movie to watch.
I love that movie.
It's a really good movie, but it's sad.
It's yeah. Well, especially when you watch that and you realize like most of the guys that you grew up watching like in like the early '90s, especially like well, I guess it would be the guys from like the '80s. Like that's their life.
Yeah.
Oof.
Fucking Mickey Rourke looks like an alien too. It's like
He does.
all the work he's got done.
Flash. Actually, Mickey Rourke knocked out Chris Jericho.
Is that real or was that fake?
No, it was fake.
Yeah, right. I wasn't watching at the time, but I've heard of it.
Because it was it Steamboat, Snuka, and Piper taking on Jericho, and Jericho ends up beating them, and he starts to mock them all, and then Mickey Rourke comes in. He's like, "I'm gonna beat blah blah blah," and Mickey Rourke just gives him like the 1-2, kind of like when Tyson fought when Tyson knocked out Shawn Michaels.
Horrible punches.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Tyson Fury though.
Who? There was Macho Man. You ever hear the story about Macho Man and Hogan? Where there was Mike Tyson as the referee.
No.
But it ended up Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. So
yeah. So
Buster Douglas comes in to do the refereeing, and he says I want you to punch me. I don't want it to look fake. He's like, I want you to like break my jaw if you have to. Like that. Like Macho Man was dedicated to like to the craft, man.
Dude, he made Jake the Snake bite Jake before he would take a bite from him. He's like, look, I'm down to take a bite. He's like, but I'm not willing to die. So you take the bite first, and then I'll take the bite.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He had no idea that the thing had been defanged.
Yeah, brother, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Don't worry, Macho. We're not going to have a live murder on TV.
That snake got venom, yeah. You take the bite, brother, yeah.
That was like one of my first memories of wrestling was that Macho Man stuck in the ropes and having the Cobra bite him.
Yeah.
Oof.
They're struggling to get him off, even though it was
just like it was chewing, right?
Yeah, devenom. But yeah, they have a lot of teeth apparently. Yeah.
Well, and it's like when the snake's biting, like it chews down, and that's how it like pumps out the venom, right? So it's like just, the snake's weapon. Like, why is nothing? It doesn't have that sensation. Oh,
just munching away.
Yeah, the other one was the cage match from SummerSlam, Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude for the title. Mm-hmm. It was probably one of the first matches I ever saw. I was like, this is pretty fun. Just beating someone up in a cage? Like, you can get paid for this? I'm like 5 years old. I'm like, all right, I can get in on this.
Why didn't WWE leave fucking Punk in there? This would have been way better match with Punk, Ray, and Jericho.
I don't remember.
Man, did you see that somersault? He almost didn't catch him.
It's like, hey, actually, you go back 15 years and you got WCW right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is actually really funny watching Ray when he launches himself off the ropes. He has to launch himself off the second rope before moving forward. No, but yeah, like I don't remember it ever being just one-on-one all the time. I always remember it being like 3, 4, 5 guys in the ring at one time. Man, oh man. If you had told these guys back when they were in ECW back in the mid-90s that, hey,
Lion Tamer,
you guys are going to be fighting for the big gold belt in WWF in 20 years. I wonder what they would have said to you back then.
I didn't even think about that. In the main event, 2 WCW guys.
2 ECW guys.
Yeah.
This is like before they even made their way to down south.
Damn. Is Ray going to give up a second before?
Is he gonna break down the walls of Jericho?
Damn, there's only 2 guys left, right? Undertaker and Morrison.
Yeah. And who's gonna be?
And he's back, too, in real
Yeah, and he's with
Miz.
He's back with the Miz. I loved when they were a tag team and they had the dirt sheet, which is like it was like a Raw or not a Raw website thing they used to do, and they would just give the dirt sheet, and it was just WWE's sly little way of just shooting at Meltzer all the time. Like they would just go out there and those 2 guys would talk about what was happening backstage, so that Meltzer could have he can't report on anything because they're already telling you what's going on backstage. Morrison, man, he's the guy I wish never would have left. Him and Shelton Benjamin, if those guys had been able to stay the entire time that they were gone, I feel like they would have been a lot better. Because they're definitely main event caliber guys.
Morrison at one time, though, held a bunch of titles in the Indies. Like, he held the AAA. He was, champion of a bunch of organizations. I think even in Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground, he became champion there as well.
I think he would have been amazing as a champion. Like he got the U.S., I think Intercontinental tag team a bunch of times, but he never had the chance. He left. If he had not left, I think he definitely would have been a great champion.
It's time now.
Yep.
Especially with as many titles floating around and everything.
Yeah, for sure. So and how they're moving people around onto NXT and that, like Charlotte Flair's on it, might be going back to NXT. They're saying, and Finn's back on NXT. Like you could put Morrison down there if they were really seriously desperate for it.
Mm-hmm. Why not? Like, so the thing is with Charlotte, she's fucking 10-time champion already. So let's throw her on NXT, give her the NXT title. If you have to put a title on her, maybe just do the storyline with Rhea Ripley, where it's interesting. She doesn't have to win the title off of her. You boost up Ripley, and she's comparable to size of Charlotte. So
have you heard the rumors and everything that's going on with all that?
No.
Triple H, I guess Triple H wants Ripley to beat Flair at WrestleMania and just kind of really help boost her star power a bit. But Vince is hell-bent, apparently, on getting Charlotte to be a 17-time champion so that she can have one more than her dad, so that her marketing is through the roof.
That standing backflip.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch him do it from standing, and Brock Lesnar almost crippled himself doing it off the top rope. Like, Lesnar had all that extra room.
Mm-hmm. This guy's able to maneuver his body.
Morrison's finisher, the Starship. It's so ridiculous when you see him do it in live time.
Yeah. That was a nice tilt-a-world backbreaker, or whatever. Tilt-a-world torture breaker.
Torture rack breaker, yeah.
Tilt-a-world rack attack. How long before the Undertaker gets let in?
I think it's 5-minute intervals between guys. And I don't know if it's actual 5 minutes or if it's Bruce Pritchard's.
I think we've actually broken down. Spoiler alert! I'm not going to spoil it though. I think we've actually broken down the main event for this WrestleMania coming up. So I think I know who wins. But yeah, go back. If you guys are fast enough, you guys can go back and check out how many fucking matches we broke down and see which match I'm talking about, possibly.
Undertaker with a drink of water in the pod.
How? The ref gave it to him?
No, he just bent over. He just picked up a bottle of water.
I guess he's allowed to do what he wants. Morrison stops the Hurricane Rana.
I'm pretty sure I remember how this match ends now. Now that you mentioned that, the main event for the WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. I think I remember what the surprise is here.
Damn.
And that's it.
With the springboard, what?
Starship spring something or other. The cool flip.
Yeah. So Jericho versus Morrison waiting on Undertaker. And Sheamus is podcasting with me.
You think they're gonna put Becky into the in with Seth and the gang? Because they're teasing that Becky's gonna get a heel turn coming up, and they're teasing that there's gonna be another member of Rollins' crew. I was thinking they might do something like how Stephanie and Hunter had the Authority, husband and wife. Like, why not put those two together?
I think Becky can be the Austin of the females. And they kind of... Remember when they kind of tried to do Becky and Seth a little bit as a couple? And no one really bought it. I say
after SummerSlam when they both had the titles and all that.
Yeah. I say we try to stay away from it, and we try to do their own things.
Yeah. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
What the hell did the Undertaker fucking kick in the door for?
He's like, he wants to get in there.
Yeah, but the timer's definitely gonna go off. Taker.
Yeah, but you never know, because there was a Royal Rumble where I think it was Rick Rude came out and they were at like the clock said 7 seconds and Rick Rude was on his way down.
Oh yeah.
So you never know. Maybe he kicked the door might open.
Mm-hmm. The chain breaks off. Cheap ass chain.
There you go.
Boom.
Snake ass.
Boom.
Oh,
Big boot.
I've always loved that boot.
Leg drop by the Undertaker. He's going for the pin. 1, 2. Ooh, kick out by Chris Jericho.
10 years later, and you see the Taker get old here, and 10 years later, they're now talking Sting and him at WrestleMania. That means Sting's only WrestleMania when he fought Triple H. When his face paint came off and you saw all the balding and all this stuff, it's like, I don't want to see him anymore, man. Like, why can't I just have like the happy memories and not the happy current product? Like,
so they just suplexed the Undertaker, double suplex, tag team suplex by Morrison and Jericho, because he was going to chokeslam both. Boom, over the top rope onto this cage. The cold
steel.
Yeah, so cold and unforgiving. It almost cuts at your skin. I don't know. For no reason.
That's why I always loved whenever the cage would lower, like the Hell in a Cell or the Elimination Chamber, and they'd be like, "That is over 5 tons of steel," and you're like, you hear it, and you're like, "Do you know how much that actually is?" Like, and you're lowering it down on like 3 little cables.
Who's bleeding? Is Jericho bleeding?
No. A little nick from that cold steel, man.
Yeah, from the cold steel, the unforgiving steel. By God.
So, oof. Sometimes you watch this and you're like, man, I would love to be a professional wrestler. And then my kids jump on my back and I'm like, I'm a sissy. I'm happy to watch it.
Yeah, no, the impact these guys take and just kind of...
Like, I got like a 30-pound kid jumping on me. I'm like, oh, God, get off me. And like, these guys got like Yokozuna jumping on their chest.
Damn, so Undertaker's beating the shit out of Jericho.
The door's coming off on the outside.
Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to happen, right? It came off the track.
They're like, how do we do this, guys?
Yeah, it came off the track.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's crooked.
Vince is like, just stand there. Just hold it.
Yeah.
Just hold it. You can't leave.
Damn. That sucks. So I guess we know the mechanism now that they're on tracks. Undertaker with the body splash in the corner. A second one? Yep.
I forget who it was, but someone actually was like, I think
Boom! Snake Eyes again.
it might have been Kofi actually was like on the top of the cage last time, wasn't he?
That was nice, though.
Like hanging off of the top.
Earlier?
No, like last year's when he lost to Daniel Bryan. I feel like someone was like monkey barring it across the top of the Elimination Chamber. Can't remember now.
Yeah, me neither. Boom! Damn. The knees go up into the mid of the back. Crippling Morrison.
You see, when I'm on the bed and the kids are jumping off the dresser and giving me a splash, if I were to do that and put my knees up to defend myself, you know how much trouble I would get into?
Ryan, why are the kids paralyzed? They try to splash, all right?
Jericho, no problem gets that thing moved over. Referees are struggling. Jericho, like, one hand is.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah.
Morrison over the top rope.
Morrison's going to go through the pod. Got to get to Jericho somehow. Where's Ray? Lawn dart. Just throw him through.
Yeah, hey, Bray, come back out here.
It was Goldberg speared someone through the Elimination Chamber once. Or through the pod. He gave maybe like Triple H or Shawn Michaels back in the day.
I think
Dude,
I'm pretty sure I remember that.
They were showing WWE had like the top 10 Goldberg jackhammers. Oh, he did break it down. And when he the biggest jackhammer, so like Roadblock and Mark Henry, those guys, and you're watching his finisher. I never really if he's got a small guy and he's able to actually hold him up and then drive him into the pin, it's all right. But when he's got like a massive, like 300-pound guy, all he's doing is just gives him a suplex and that's it. There's nothing special to his finisher. I never realized how bad it really was.
Why are you hating, Ryan?
It's Goldberg. I thought you didn't like him anyway. What's the difference?
Yeah, but you're hating, bro.
Not you, bro.
Did the glass come off? Yeah, it did, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous. The plexiglass.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell who's going to win this match.
Mm-hmm.
They took everyone out quick.
They did, yeah. And it's weird, yeah. You would have thought that they would have maybe left, like you said, left CM Punk in there a bit longer. Like with the storyline that they're going to go with next of Rey Mysterio and CM Punk, it would have been perfect to have CM Punk in like the final 2 or I guess maybe like the final 3, final 4, and have Rey beat him then when maybe he's about to beat the Undertaker and Rey stops it or something, like pisses him off, and that can start there. At least like build CM Punk up a little bit more, because all he did was eliminate R-Truth. Well, that's a nice little choke slam. Oh,
Boom. Onto the Unforgiving Steel. Cold.
I wonder if you can pin out there.
You could in video games.
Yeah.
And I forgot what game it was that I used to play.
There was one. Yeah, there was like one of the 2Ks you could do it.
The one with Austin on the cover, definitely.
Yeah, 13 or 16.
That's it. Morrison's
There
out.
we go.
Choke slam. Rest in peace.
Jericho and Taker. Oh, he means business.
Damn. Took off the straps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how this one ends now.
I don't know how it ends. I think I know who wins. I don't know if there's some kind of special.
I'm pretty sure.
Swerve him, bro. You gotta swerve him.
Jericho, he can't hide no more.
Brass knucks? Is that what we're gonna get?
No, he was taking his tape off. What was that? There was that match that we had covered not that long ago. They had to take the tape off their hands or whatever. It was an older one.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
It was one of the Bash at the Beaches. Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan would wrap up his...
DDP.
Oh, yeah.
It was the wrapped fist match. That's what...
For a little bit, they used to slip Hacksaw the tape and used to put it on.
Yeah.
Punch him. Damn, Undertaker hit his nuts. Boom. Boom.
It's crazy. Like the Undertaker character was the
Greatest gimmick ever.
But that's the thing. It's like it was one of those gimmicks where back in the early '90s, when you had like just throughout the entire '90s, you had like a garbage man, plumber, hog farmers, a dead guy. You would think like, okay, whatever, it'll run its course.
A millionaire.
30 years later, he's still going strong as the Undertaker.
You can never kill the Undertaker, bro. Swerve him. You gotta swerve him, bro. You put him in the casket, light it on fire. He comes back next week. Swerve him, bro.
Worst heavyweight champion of all time: David Arquette or Vince Russo?
Fuck. David Arquette?
See, I was gonna say like, at least David Arquette was involved in the movie, so it was like a promotion to help the company.
Well, that's why I want to say that at least
Like
Vince Russo was involved in wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're both pretty bad.
They're both like
1A and 1B.
yeah. I just like how like Vince Russo's like every organization he goes to, we're gonna strip all the champions. It's like what? Trust me, it'll make sense in the long run.
He did that once in WCW.
And then when they brought him back to WWE after like WCW closed down, they asked him like, "Do you have any ideas?" And he said to Vince, "We strip all the champions." And Vince is like, "Yeah, okay, no, you're fired."
He stripped all the champions at,
Yeah.
in WCW one time.
Called everyone down to the ring, made everyone give their titles back.
Mhm.
Oh my god, such an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like they always said, like Vince Russo was so great because he wrote so much for the Attitude Era, but they never mentioned the fact that he had to run those ideas by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon would then tweak them, and there was other writers that would work with him. It wasn't just Vince Russo coming up with all those ideas.
Mhm.
He may have come up with some of them, but not all. And WCW he was final say, so whatever he thought was a good idea, that was it. Whereas in WWF, it had to go through Vince McMahon at the end. He was like, "No, we're not doing that. Sorry." Hell's Gate.
Damn, he escaped though with the help of the ropes. Was Undertaker barely unveiling this type of submission move at this time?
A couple years earlier, because he beat Edge with it at WrestleMania 24. So it was around the time that he started, like people started knowing that he was big into MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Brock almost got into it there after Kane beat Brock.
One more time.
Oof.
Boom.
What's going on with Kane? Has there been any talk of what's going on with him in WWE? Because after the match with Brock, there hasn't really been not even a talk about him.
He wasn't in the Royal Rumble, right?
No. I don't think he's been seen since the Super Showdown.
Maybe he's training for WrestleMania match.
Get him into NXT.
Maybe a WrestleMania match versus somebody.
Versus Goldberg.
What?
There we go for the title.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Because that seems like that was such a big thing for them when he came out there on that SmackDown. And then little storyline here and there, and that was it. Gone. That was like October last time I think we saw him.
Sounds about right. I don't remember exactly when either. Uh-oh. So the Hell's Gate... Oh, the Hell's Gate couldn't get Jericho.
But the last ride.
Right out the top ropes. Does the Undertaker still have the energy to go cover him? We'll be right back.
Yeah. Maybe. Referees. The referees. Sometimes if you just sit back and watch the referees during some of these matches, they're amazing. I think. Wait. Yeah. I think here is where. Yeah. Because if you remember, this is lead up to WrestleMania 26.
Throat cut by The Undertaker. What's coming?
What's coming? Right there he is. There it is.
Boom.
Career versus the streak.
I didn't know this was happening either.
Yeah. Because
I thought it was going to be Edge versus Undertaker at WrestleMania.
that's 24.
Okay.
And then, so it's Edge and Jericho at 26.
So Michaels pops out from the bottom of the chamber and super kicks the Undertaker, giving Jericho the WCW, or the World's Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, so like after WrestleMania 25, when Shawn and Taker fought, Shawn went away for a bit, comes back, and is saying to Taker, like, let's do it again. Taker says nope, says nope, says nope. Well, now you've unleashed the beast.
Damn.
Jericho with one of his, 5 or 6 title reigns. For a guy that they never thought could do it in WCW.
First undisputed.
Yep.
Beat The Rock and Austin in one night.
Was the WCW and WWE champion.
By God, what's Shawn doing here? And we are desperately out of...
Yeah, well, yeah. I was gonna say, like, like if Jim Ross was there, like, oh, he's on Raw. What's he doing attacking the SmackDown champion?
He's just looking at him.
Much like Drew McIntyre stared down Lesnar. There we go.
That's it.
There's your show.
WWE Entertainment.
A nice shot up Shawn Michaels' nose to end it all.
Yeah. This was after his match with Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Or tagging with Jesus.
Yeah.
Ryan, thanks a lot for joining me today on this episode of the Full Heel Podcast, breaking down the Elimination Chamber 2010. Do you have any words for our fans before we get out of here?
No, like just maybe when Raph puts up the bat signal and says, "You guys got any questions or anything you want us to talk about on the show?" Maybe give the man some love once in a while. Like,
I made the graphic and everything. Took time out of my day on a Monday because I was happy that I was gonna do this shit.
Yeah, he put 5 minutes aside and he made no.
Yeah, I stole the Elimination Chamber graphic. Put 2010 on the bottom. Come on.
Put 3 letters on the bottom.
Yeah. No, but you can see the little symbols on there. So please go ahead and subscribe at Full Heel Podcast on Twitter, at Full Heel Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and iTunes, Podbean, all that good stuff. Instagram, you can see my what I cook. I'm going to start baking and I'm going to start cooking other things. But go on there and check it out.
Baked Baker.
Yeah, the Baked Baker. Not Brick Baker from the AEW, the dentist.
Go check out Bread by Ryan also.
Yeah, check that out. Bread by Ryan. And Ryan, you should try to make that fathead dough.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. So go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Really helps out the show. Go ahead and share it and tell all your friends about it. All that good stuff. So probably come back later with Jesus to do another episode. Anything else, Ryan?
We'll see you here next time on Full Heel Podcast. No, thanks for having me again. It's a blast. I like doing the watch-alongs. It's a nice little transition from like the random matches here or there or whatnot, or a superstar. So it's kind of fun to kick back and watch something from, like I said, like 10 years ago and kind of see, like, we're on the road to WrestleMania now, and to go back and see what it was like a decade ago now. I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Probably see you next week. We'll see what we do. Probably that request.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. And check out the rewrites. They're dropping new music. They're dropping new stuff. I think it's the 28th. I'm not sure. But check their website. They're doing the Cubby Bear. They're playing the Cubby Bear across the street from the Cub Stadium. So check out Full Heel Podcast. I'll see you guys next time. We are desperately out of time.